This is Kyle Juszczyk, and you're listening to Nothing But Niners.
This is Charles Haley. You're listening to Nothing But Niners.
So now they've got to start from deep in their end of the field, and Garrison Hurst takes advantage of it. He takes the handoff, sweeps to his right, gets to the 20. He's in the 30, needs to cut in. He comes back up the right sideline, breaks his hard tackle, comes down to the 30. He's down to the 20. He's down to the 10. He's down to the 5. He's into the end zone. Touchdown! Touchdown! 49ers! 96-yard run from scrimmage. Garrison Hurst breaking tackle after tackle, sweeps down the sideline. Throws off bodies like clothes after a marathon.
Young, back to throw. In trouble, he's going to be sacked. No, gets away. He runs, gets away again, goes to the 40, gets away again, to the 35, cuts back at the 30, to the 20, the 50, the 10. He died. Touchdown, 49ers.
Third down, Alex takes the snap. Alex looking down in post, and it's good. Touchdown! Touchdown, 49ers!
It is second down. Ryan takes the snap, throws the slant to the left side. It's Russell intercepted. The 49ers pick it, and Navarro Bowman is redemption. Navarro Bowman running it all the way for the touchdown. No greater redemption.
The San Francisco 49ers, we can do whatever we want.
Click, click, boom. What's going on, faithfuls? It's your boy Mike from the Nothing But Niners crew. And guys, we are back, man. Episode 2161. And this is called The Real Deal. I can't wait to break this all down. I have a really fun, exciting show planned for you guys today. So let's just go ahead and get right into it, okay? We have to start with the formalities like we do every single week, all right? So if this is your first time here with us on the YouTube page, do us a favor. If you enjoyed the show, give us a thumbs up, like the show, like this episode in particular, okay? And then if you really, really like it, you should subscribe. And after you subscribe, you should turn on your notification so you know exactly when we are going live. This way, you don't miss anything, all right? So head on over there, youtube.com/nothingbutniners. Give us a thumbs up on this episode, 2161. Subscribe. And then turn on your notifications. Shout out to everybody listening on the podcast front, all right? We have a couple of other social media platforms we want you guys to check us out on. We have Facebook. We have Snapchat, Instagram, and Twitter. Those handles are Nothing But 9. That is the number 9. Nothing But 9. ERS, all right? Head on over there. Nothing But 9. ERS on Snapchat, Instagram, and Twitter. And then there is a Facebook and Twitch account. All right, we're live on both of those right now, and that handle is Nothing But Niners, okay? Make sure you guys get on over there, subscribe to those. Very fun communities for you guys to be a part of, all right? If you have questions, comments, concerns, you want to shoot us an email, show suggestions, some feedback for the show, you can shoot me an email right here at the bottom of the screen, nb9ers@nothingbutniners.com. Again, that is nb9ers@nothingbutniners.com. And last but certainly not least, guys, we're live over here right now at this very moment, guys. Patreon.com/nb9ers. Now, depending on how the show goes, I might do a little bit of overtime over there on the Patreon side. So I got to see how the show goes. We'll have to see how late we get done. I'm not quite sure, but guys, patreon.com/nb9ers is the place to be. All right. I think that's all the formalities I need to go through right now. I want to say what's up to everybody in the chat, man. I want to say what's going on to everybody. I see Miss Debbie dropping in, showing some early love on the second day of Kwanzaa. That's what I'm talking about, huh? All right, so I'm going to like that one. I'm going to get to that one later on in the episode when we do our oh damn, what do I call it? I'm having a brain fart right now, guys. When I do the super chat segment. All right. So thank you very much, Miss Debbie. I know Sin jumped in very, very early in the show. I know Melissa jumped in. They said they won't be around for the show, but they want to stop by and show some love. Guys, I appreciate that. You see the notification and you know you're not going to be able to come in here. I really and sincerely do appreciate you guys saying, hey, I'm not there with you physically, but I'm with you spiritually. Just wanted to let you know I'm here in support of you, okay? I appreciate that from all of my people out there. You guys are fantastic, all right? Thank you so much. I'm going to pour my little bit of – I got some Polar Seltzer water here. I just want to pour that in my little cup so I can sip on it. I don't like drinking out of a can, so I got to get my little drink ready over here. We're going to get to this fun show. I got a couple of topics I want to discuss with you guys today, all right? We're going to break this down very, very soon, but I got to wipe off the lids. You guys remember the stories back in the day? We were younger. They used to say that, like, rats were running around in soda warehouses, and they were like having toxins and stuff. And then when they would clean up the mouse droppings and rat droppings, they would go airborne. They would land on top of the cans and all that. And then people were getting sick and dying from not wiping off their soda cans. So I'm very meticulous about how I wipe off my soda cans, not just the fact that I do it after each one and not drinking off of it, but I also have to wipe it off a very, very certain way. There's a little crease and crevice underneath the rim, and there's one down inside. I got to get in there with my thumbnail before I can crack this bad boy open. So, yeah, I apologize about that, but I think I'm ready to rock and roll. All right. So again, shout out to all of you guys who are in here right now. Brian, I see you in here, man. We're not talking about your bum Eagles. Here's one thing I do know about those Eagles, B. Y'all don't want the problems with the Niners in the postseason. I pray that we see y'all in the postseason. I really, 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 really do. I can't wait to see them, but that's not what I'm here to talk about, okay? If you guys saw the episode description, there was a lot, and I mean a lot of questions in there that we are going to answer right now. I'm getting some text messages. Let me make sure it's not the guys trying to say I need the link. All right. Okay. All right. That is one of the guys, but that was not about this. Let me check the other one. Okay. All right. All right. All right. All right. Okay. So first and foremost, we have to go through some 49ers moves. Okay. The 49ers are making some moves on the practice squad. Okay. And the latest one happening today. Boom. The 49ers have signed linebacker Curtis Robinson. Oh, wait. I got a banner for this. Let me chill out. Latest 49ers rumors and updates. All right. Now, guys, the 49ers signed linebacker Curtis Robinson to the team's practice squad, and they released cornerback Trey Swilling. I don't know if this is going to be a big deal or not. I can't imagine, but one thing I do know is that they're letting go of corners. You guys got to remember Dante Johnson went on IR a couple weeks ago. We've had our number one corner and Mooney Ward suffering from head trauma, head injuries, and things like that. He missed a couple of plays in the game on Christmas Eve because of feeling nauseous, and nausea is a sign of a concussion. So because he felt that, he notified them on the sideline. They took him to the sideline. They worked him out. They gave him the thumbs up. They gave him the okay to go back and get back in the sack. He went right back out there, right? So them letting go of a corner, even off of the practice squad, I know that they feel a lot better about how Mooney Ward is doing, okay? Troy says, Kyle brings in Trash Can Jim to replace Brock. We will lose in the playoffs. I guarantee it. Troy, I don't think you have anything to worry about with that. It wasn't going to be a topic that I had for tonight, so I will discuss this really quick while I have it up here and while I see it. No, not to disrespect Jimmy or anything. You typed it, not me. But I don't think that there's an issue with, or even a concern with, the possibility of Jimmy Garoppolo coming back right now. And if he were to return, this is going to sound crazy. I don't think you move on from Brock Purdy. I am going to get to Brock Purdy later on, but I just don't see how it benefits anybody to bring back Jimmy Garoppolo right now. All right. Trey Lance's injury was before Jimmy's, albeit Jimmy's wasn't as significant, but I think Trey Lance is more likely to return than Jimmy Garoppolo is. I know that Kyle said no, he's done for the year, he shut it down. But he also recently walked that back when asked about his two injured quarterbacks. And he said, I don't rule anything out yet. So we will have to see what happens. All right. Let me see here. Oh, look at this. Look at this. This is cute when Eagles, guys, just so y'all know, be kind to my man. This is my guy right here. All right. So don't get on him too much, but I want y'all to let this dude know. Okay. Now this is my boy, for real. Like we go back like two flats from the Cadillac. All right. I'm talking about, we go to bachelor parties together and everything. This is my guy. Now, with that being said, the Eagles are so desperate to brag about something right now. Like they're still like, oh, the Niners have 4 losses and we only have 2. They lost their quarterback for 1 game, and they are 0-1. The Niners have lost their quarterback since week 2, and we are on an 8-game winning streak. Dude, if you don't stop playing with me, B, this is not – I'm telling you, Listen to me, bro. The clip is loaded. I don't want to start shooting at y'all right now. This is not what this episode is supposed to be about. Don't get me turned up over here. I'm gonna let the people in the chat get you. I'm gonna let the people in the chat get you. All right. So it's all good. Now, here we go. We got to go ahead and get back to this. All right. The roster move. So they signed the linebacker. All right, Curtis Robinson is back. This is like his second or third time coming back with the team this year. I'm sorry to see someone get fired or released, right? Trey Swilling, sorry about that. But I was happy. I took it as a sign of positivity for our Mooney Ward. I think that he's going to be okay. All right. Some more news on the injury front and things like that. Following the game, there were no injuries to report. Talk about a Christmas miracle, right? The 49ers have been bitten badly by the injury bug. But here's a little bit of the good news. They are getting the injuries out the way earlier. There are guys returning from injury right now, not heading off of the roster due to injury. So the 49ers right now are in a very, very good space, okay? They had guys like Javon Kinlaw come back for his 15 reps. We're going to talk about that later on in one of the later segments in the show, okay? I have a segment here that I'm going to do big deal or no deal. And I'm going to talk about that over there. And when my man is ready, he's going to give me the thumbs up. We're going to pop him in here, and we're going to rock this show like nobody else does. All right. I got the thumbs up there. I see the signal. I'm going to bring my man in here in 3, 2, 1. Bong. There he is, ladies and gentlemen. My man Wayne Breezy, Run CMC in the building. How you doing, man? I didn't know if I was gonna see you tonight, man. You've been a little low in the listen, man. Listen. If I did something, tell me.
Nah, man. I've been trying to catch up on rest, bro. I've been
you a traveling man.
Yeah, man. It's not even over because we about to be in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? So we still going, you know. So yeah, whenever I get some downtime, man, I just try to find a way to lay low and just stay out of the heat. You know what I'm saying? But I'm back, baby. I'm here, baby. Let's do this show, man.
All right, we're gonna absolutely do that, man. You know, we're gonna break this whole thing down here. Now I sent a long message in the chat with some of the topics that I have for us tonight, and you know what? We won't belabor in it. When it's two people, we got to go faster because we bounce ideas off of each other. We get a little sidetracked. We get a little confused. So I was going over the latest 49ers rumors and updates. I did talk about the 49ers signing the linebacker Curtis Robinson back to the practice squad and letting go of cornerback Trey Swilling. Wayne, I think that's a good sign for our guy Mooney Ward, who left the game with some nausea issues. We know that nausea is a sign of concussions. I think the fact that they let Swilling go, and I know he's way down on that depth chart, but we've seen some of these guys struggle out there just a little bit. And the fact that they're letting a corner go, I think that bodes well for what he is. So what were your thoughts on that signing and release? So my man, again, for those who missed it, Curtis Robinson back with the Niners again, Swilling released.
Yeah, I mean, I thought they brought in Swilling for multiple reasons, right? To bring in another cornerback just in case certain cornerbacks weren't going to be good to go, come down the stretch. So you bring in a guy, you get them kind of familiar with the system, the defensive system that you're going to be able to run. And God forbid, if there's an injury down the road, there's a guy that came in, that got worked out, that got, acclimated kind of like to what D'Amico Ryans wants to do back there in his defense, and you could give him a call. But yeah, man, it's great news because look, it's not great news that he got released, but for Mooney Ward, I think he's going to be just about good to go. We'll find out how he is when he practices this week, but it's definitely a thumbs up from Mooney Ward. He did leave the game with nausea, but he also got cleared to come back, and he played as well.
And he did return, yes.
Yeah,
yes, he did return.
He returned, and yeah, man. I tell you what, if he never left that game, that Terry McLaurin pass doesn't get caught, because I can tell you right now, whatever his name is, Taylor Heineke wouldn't have threw the ball deep. Like he wasn't going deep that whole game. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that was on Samuel Womack, the rookie, and Tashawn Gibson. They tried, and he just made a great catch. They were there. They just weren't in position to break up the play. Samuel Womack was there. He just wasn't in the right position to break up the play. If that was Mooney Ward and he had did that, Mooney is the king of the tip break up passes. So
Yes, sir.
That wouldn't even have been an attempt. So yeah, it's good to have him back. And as far as Curtis Robinson, listen, you bring the linebacker that back that you had with the team for the past couple of seasons, right? And so like this is great for special teams depth, which I think the special teams is playing tremendous football. By the way, I mean,
stepped up big time.
Geez, George Odom, is he all pro again as a
Should
special?
be.
Yeah,
Should be.
Yeah,
I find it hard to believe he won't be, but I don't watch enough of other teams' special teams to be completely honest with you. So that might be my 49ers bias coming out.
But if you look at the way that these guys aren't allowing any yards, any return yards, they're there like to crack the ball. Matter of fact, the last time you saw the return yards was when your Gunners was out in that Seattle Seahawks game when you didn't have Womack and you didn't have Tarvarius Moore, right? And so that was crazy, man. But yeah, it's going to be crazy. The Mellow Trucker, what's going on, family?
I just wanted to put that out there so, you know, I can't pin it or anything like that right from this one. If I jumped on YouTube, I could, but then there might be some feedback. So I'm not going to do it, but I'm going to put that up there. Sin is back in here. She said she wasn't going to be here. I'm happy to see her in there. Hello, Sin. Good to see you. And by the way, y'all, don't hurt my man Brian too much. I'm going to say it again. Y'all can get on him now. He can't just come in here just talking to talk. Niner fans know they stuff, bro. So my man Brian from out here in Philly, he's one of the dudes that I go to bachelor parties and stuff with. That's my boy from work back in the day. And he in here talking about, oh, look at the Eagles. How many losses the Niners got and all that. They on them right now. I told him I can't do it on the show right now. But we're going to be in here. So we good. Now, Wayne, we got a couple of things. So I'm going to start with your shirt, man. Run CMC. All right. Yeah. Christian McCaffrey went from getting about 17 to 20 touches a game all the way down to 15 carries. Now, he did have the 2 catches, but this was a low production day for Christian McCaffrey. All right. What happened? Why do you think the Niners chose to reduce his carries? I mean, look, I'll be honest with you, man. We were looking for guys to come
because
in there.
Y'all asked them to. Y'all begged that Kyle Shanahan stop using them. So are we complaining that he's now underutilized? What are we doing here? You didn't want him. Yeah, not you. I'm talking about the faithful. You didn't want him getting the carries. He was getting you 100+ yards. Now that he doesn't get the carries, it's a problem. What the freak? We can't have our cake and eat it too, guys. Come on, man. Let's be a little bit more wise about it. He's a volume type of a running back. He always has been. He's been the bell cow since he's been in the league. And the moment he's not used as a bell cow, oh, what's wrong with Christian McCaffrey? He didn't look as good as he did the past because you ain't giving him the damn ball. Give him the ball. He's good for breaking a big one, and he's good for sustaining drives. That's what he does.
What I like about the Niners reducing his usage right now is that I think it's perfect.
And it absolutely is.
The league is in trouble if they continue to do that and put up 37 points a game.
They're going to get a healthy dosage of Christian McCaffrey come the playoffs.
I think it was a concerted effort by not only Kyle, but the coaching staff, his running backs coach and things like that, right? When you have a wide receiver take a rush for 71 yards, when you got my man getting 9 carries out there and being effective, by the way, way to go for the rookie TDP, right? Like I was happy seeing him out there. I like what I saw from them. The Niners don't have to run Christian McCaffrey into the ground right now. I think it was a concerted effort to say, you know what, let's reserve him. We're locked into the number 3 spot. That's the lowest we can go. The highest we can get is still number 1, believe it or not. If the Eagles lose out, the Niners win out. I think we own the tiebreaker, and the Niners get that number 1 spot. Now, there's also a team in between. We can still end up at number 2.
No, they own the tiebreaker. They own that as well. So
yeah. So the Niners
finish with Minnesota with the same record. The Niners would still be number 1.
Now, if the playoffs were to start today,
the Niners would be number 3.
The Niners are 3, and they're playing against the Giants. Okay. At number 2, you got the Vikings playing against the Commanders. Which team would you rather play if you had to pick one in the first round of the postseason?
Oh, the Giants by far. Like you want the Giants. They don't have the same defense. I don't give which I say that Commanders defense was legit. I know we put up 37 points, but that shit didn't come easy. It
won't happen the same way. Let me tell you why, right? One, it was a short week for Washington. People forget that. It was a short week. And they had to travel west. So I think
they'll have to travel west again, but it won't be a short week.
But it won't, right. But it won't be a short, exactly. And so that's what I'm a little bit concerned with. That Commanders defense is for real. And they have a very similar game plan that the Niners have. Kyle mentioned it a couple of times going into this game. They number one in the league in time of possession. Number one in the league, and they outpossessed us even in this game.
Well, they're number one in the league. Guess who's number two, though? So you knew it was going to be that. So it wasn't like they outpossessed us by a lot. They sustained longer. They had longer drives, which led to punts. Like that's kind of like what it was. And they had a couple of scoring drives. I mean, some were helped by penalties, but yeah, man, it's funny.
Now I got to call out the lies when I see him in the chat. Okay, y'all don't have a tough division. Y'all have the easiest schedule. Y'all have the easiest schedule. If you go back and look at the list of opponents and the teams that they had to play, that's all I'm gonna say. Just go back and look. This is like the Panthers going 15-1. They were shams. They were shams. I'm saying it right now.
They got to that Super Bowl against Denver and
got smoked.
Like they got yeah. I'm trying to think of a different word, but yup, that was it.
All right.
Think of a synonym for smoked.
Yeah. All right. So that was the Christian McCaffrey question I have for you there. Speaking of the wide receiver taking a 71-yard touchdown, that was a play that they have run with Deebo multiple times. My question to you is about Deebo. Should the Niners be trying to get Deebo back and just get him acclimated back to the sports thing, or should they let him take his time and then go ahead and unleash him in the postseason? If you had it your way, there is no right or wrong answer. It's just your opinion. I want to know what you think.
Yeah, I mean, look, Deebo is a football player, and he's probably the toughest football player out there on this team. I feel like if he's cleared and he's medically ready to go, I feel like you get him acclimated. You could limit his touches, you could limit his play, you could limit his snaps, excuse me. But I will say you want to get Deebo reacclimated, because you got to think about how many 49er fans were complaining about Deebo Samuel at the beginning of the season. They were like,
well, they said that he didn't look the same.
He didn't look the same. He didn't have spring. He didn't go to the OTAs. He didn't go to the all the offseason.
Doesn't that seem like forever ago? Doesn't that seem like forever ago?
Right. And so listen, you missing some weeks. It takes a week or two to get back into that football shape. And so, hey man, limit this guy. You can limit him. You know what I'm saying? Limit his snaps. I think Javon Kinlaw has 16 snaps. Give Deebo 16 snaps. Hey, I tell you what, give Deebo as many snaps as you want. Just don't let the motherfucker run out of the backfield. How about that? How about that, Kyle? Change that up. You know why? The defense was so caught off guard in this game. If that was Deebo, that wouldn't have been a 70-yard.
Not at all.
They'd have
been on him.
They'd have been on it. You know, they'd have been on it. Now that you got another guy that could do something like that, you bring Deebo back, man. And guys, hey, Jim, you're right. Deebo won't be 100%. You know, not one player in the NFL right now is 100%.
Not a one of them.
Not
a single one.
Yeah. Now his rest percent over anybody. He's Deebo Samuel.
You mentioned Kyle catching the people off guard with the McLeod play, right? My question to you is this: is Kyle getting in his bag, or is he calling the same stuff, just using different people? Or is it both? I guess it could technically be both, right?
I think it's technically both, because we watched Kyle pull out plays we haven't seen before. And then we watched Kyle do plays we have seen before, but be executed. Remember, we talked about Kyle Shanahan and his plays not being executed properly. We were like, damn, if he would have made that block, that was a touchdown. Dang, if he would have caught this and made this, that was a touchdown. So the plays are there. Kyle's always had the plays. But when I think about him going into his bag, like for me, essentially, I'm thinking of him pulling out something I've just never seen before. When you go back to that Hollywood play 2 games ago, I've never seen Kyle Shanahan call that play. Like that's straight Bill Walsh-ish. Like I haven't seen it since the 80s type thing like that. You know what I'm saying? So that was going into his bag. But the oh my God, it's not an end around. What was it? The jet screen. Jet sweep. I'm sorry, the jet sweep. That's been in his playbook since forever. You've watched every wide receiver kind of run it.
Yeah,
we just haven't seen it in a while. Remember how we got beat by Kansas City, and we said to ourselves, "Damn, we getting beat with our own play." But Cole Harmon had 2 jet sweep touchdowns in that game, so that's a Kyle Shanahan thing. I was wondering why we didn't see it earlier in the season with Ray McCloud, but you know what, man? Listen.
It was hard for him to get on the field, though, man. The Niners 1, 2, and 3 were solidified, right? Jawan Jennings was the 3. You got Deebo and Ayuk out there.
It's a package thing, though, right, Mike? So it's like 3rd and long, you want Jawan in there. Like a regular 3rd down, like a 3rd and 5, 3rd and something. I don't know. Like put Ray.
I think it's the opposite. I think 3rd and long ain't really for Jawan.
I think 3rd and is definitely for Jawan. I mean,
wait, what do you call long? Let me rephrase.
I mean, anything. Listen, Jawan was converting anything. Like remember when he was getting those 3rd and longs, like 3rd and 13s and 15s. He was getting those. Yeah, the shorts is what you're kind of scared because he's got to like run the right route, catch the ball, and
not tip it to the opponent and things like that.
Yep.
Not a knock. You know, it's a
no, it's a knock. It's a knock. You gotta catch the ball, Jawan. Like you just gotta catch the ball, dog. Knock. It is what it is. We keep it 100 over here, yo. I'm gonna keep this shit nitty gritty.
So we're not gonna rush Deebo back. I think that I do think it's important for him to get some reps. But I don't know if it's important for him to take hits right now. I would like to see him on the field running some more, getting acclimated to the game speed and things like that. You can get him a couple passes here and there, but like you said, maybe not the carries out the backfield right now.
Right. I wouldn't do the carries, but Mike, Deebo's play is hit. What are you saying? Because he's going to look to enforce the hit, like regardless. But let him orchestrate it. Let him be the dictator of how he's going to deliver the pain, opposed to him running up the middle, trying to do it, because he's a back spinner. You know what I'm saying? Like he spin with the back and then turn around and then boom, twist the kneecap, ankle, shin splint, whatever you want to call it. Right. So let Deebo catch that ball. How about try to get him the ball in space? Bet you won't see nothing hurt on that.
Right.
I'm just saying, you got to get him reacclimated back to 49er football speed.
We have seen Brock Purdy have 3 starts now under his belt. I said that this was going to be his biggest test because after having 3 games on film, now this was his 3rd start, but he did play most of that other game. I felt like the defenses were going to kind of figure out him a little bit more. And this game, I saw him hitting guys in stride, which was my biggest concern over the first 2 games. It felt like everybody had to be facing him. He was throwing to the front of jerseys and not to the side or to the back so they could do the over the shoulder. He was hitting guys in stride. Based off of what you've seen so far, all right? Based off of what you've seen so far, how do you feel about the 49ers' chances in the postseason?
I mean, it's going to be a little bit different, right? But I think they go in there with the same game plan. They go with the Brock Purdy plan, and that's the short throw, the intermediate throw, the unscheduled throws. The thing I like about Brock Purdy more than any quarterback that we've seen in a long time, I would say since Jeff Garcia, I think Brock Purdy is even better than what Alex Smith used to do. As far as extending the play, like they could throw the ball on the run, and when they get outside the pocket, they're not looking to run, but they will run, but they still looking to throw the ball. So as long as he has that receiver trailing with them on a rollout or on a how about when you talk about that not missed throw, but that blitz that he picked up? I mean, the blitz was right in his face. He spun into the blitz, stopped, spun back out of the blitz, and still got the ball out of his hands towards a wide receiver for the incomplete pass, but to live to the next down. And then on a few plays later, he takes the sack because if he didn't, it was an interception. So it was like the kid has the brain cells, man. I'm going back to my lean on me days. He has the brain cells, man. He's not killing his brain cells. The brain cells are there. You know what I'm saying? And so I think in the playoffs, it's going to get harder for Brock. It's going to be a harder test. Right? Because now defenses will have, I would say, multiple weeks of film.
7, they'll have 7 weeks of film on them at that point.
And it's win or go home.
Well, 6. I'm sorry, 6.
But it's win or go home.
Right.
I'm not. That's yeah. So now
amount of pressure. That's a different amount of pressure.
That's all I'm saying. Can he handle the pressure? I have no idea. Because he hasn't been in it before. You could say he played in a college bowl game, but come on, Mike, that doesn't equate to a playoff game in the NFL.
Yeah, no, I agree.
The fans may, but come on, we talking about you win or go home. Yeah. And Brock got
the best of the best.
Yeah, even if I feel like our team is more dominant, I'm curious to see the Giants defense would do, what the Commanders defense would do, what the Vikings defense would do, we know what the Eagles defense is. They're probably like the second best defense in the NFC. You know what I'm saying? So there's going to be some defenses that he's going to have to go out there and find his way and finagle. Now, what I do like about Brock is he doesn't buckle under pressure. Because I tell you what, he looked terrible in the first half, and he looked amazing in the second half. So it's like he saw the adversity. The 49ers still had a lead, but he ramped it up a level. He went out there on that first drive in the second half and threw that bomb to George Kittle. Like, that's what you want. You want to see him overcome that adversity. And he's doing it against top defenses. So can he do it in the playoffs? I believe so. But the pressure is going to be on. The heat will be on for sure.
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying, man. I think I'm pretty confident in Brock to execute whatever it is that Kyle is calling. Believe it or not, I think our success in the postseason is going to be more predicated on Kyle's play calling and designs than it is so much the quarterback position. When's the last time the Niners were in the postseason and you felt that way? Think about that for a right?
When's the last time in the regular season you felt that way? Like Brock Purdy's suiting up. I'm like, yeah, man. I'm wondering what type of plays we're gonna run today. It's not like I got the nerves in my stomach. Like, is he gonna throw an interception when he drops back? Is he gonna get hurt when he drops? I don't think like that when Brock's out there, bro. I'm like, yo, I'm dying to see what quarterback fakes. I guarantee you, Mike, before the season ends, we get the Tom Brady Statue of Liberty play and from Brock Purdy, bro. I just feel like it's in Kyle's bag. I feel that's how confident I feel Kyle is in Brock. And I think Brock, are you watching Brock with the no-look fakes and the oh yeah, man, you thought I was throwing it? Oh yeah, nah, I handed it off. Oh, you thought I was handing it off? Now here's the bomb, boom, right in your face. Like, you're seeing him do these things. I don't know, man. I think we get the Statue of Liberty next, or the annexation of Puerto Rico. One of them joints is happening. I can feel it.
Now let's flip it over to the other side. We got a couple of players on the defense we need to talk about and highlight in this game, man.
Sure.
Let's go ahead and start with the defensive line, man. I thought it was really good to see Javon Kinlaw back in there. Now he only played 15 reps.
16.
It was 16. I'm sorry. I apologize. I thought it was 15. My bad. But he went in there. He played well. I'm waiting to hear about what happened after. I didn't see a presser today. I want to know if there was any swelling or anything like that.
Kyle said there was no injuries, and they haven't brought up any new injuries. So that's a great sign. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's a great
sign. Guys, keep those super chats coming. We will get to them at the end of the show. I promise you guys that.
100%.
All right. So make sure you guys keep them coming. All right. We got you guys. Make sure you keep those coming. Sorry, Breezy, I didn't want to cut you off there.
No, bro. Never that, bro. But not seriously. I felt like there were no injuries worthy enough to be talked about. So I think we're good.
One thing Kyle said though was that it's not about how he felt after the game; it's how he felt days after the game. Yeah. That's what.
Like I said, we will be updated as the week goes along, as they prepare for this Vegas game. You know what I'm saying? And so it is what it is. I believe Kyle said there was no setbacks for Kinlaw. There's no setback. I mean, the practice window's opening for Elijah Mitchell. Hopefully this Friday, Deebo's supposed to. So this is all great stuff. Like, you know what I mean? But look, Peachy made mention, like, no Kinlaw, no fourth, no goal line stance. You know what I'm saying? Like, I Kinlaw I know he couldn't find ways to stay healthy, but if this guy gets healthy, guys, he won't be DeForest Buckner. So I think we need to get that out of our head. But what he will be is a force in the run game, the run stopping game. And I think I want that more. I feel like we got plenty of pass coverage guys. We got guys that can get to the quarterback. We need a guy that just soak up all the offensive linemen so them linebackers can crack some backs. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what Kinlaw provides, man. He's just got to find a way to stay healthy.
All right. So we're going to stick with the defense here, man. We're going to stay on the defensive line right now, man. Guys, we got to talk about it, man. Nick Bosa putting his name in the hat for the defensive player of the year. Now, I'm not saying this based off of just Niners bias. When I watch this man play, He's constantly in the backfield, tackles for loss. He is a phenomenal tackler. When running backs are there, he is a force in the run game. I would say that he's probably a top 5 defensive end in the run game. He's got to be the best pass rusher in the game. What are your thoughts on Nick Bosa so far? How many sacks do you think he finishes the season with?
I think he breaks Alden Smith's record. So I think he breaks the team record. It's going to be really hard for him to get these next, 5 sacks? He needs 5 more sacks in 2 games, right? Is that my math right? Yeah.
He's at 18 or 17 and a half. Where's he at?
He's at 17 and a half. He needs 5 more sacks to break the record. Will he
Kyle was talking a little greasy too in the post-game presser. He was saying if we left him in there for another drive or two, he would have got more sacks. He didn't say I think he would. He would have got more sacks.
I mean, I felt like he had 3 sacks in this game. He did have 3 sacks in the game, technically, but one got called back because of a penalty.
So then that means he had 4 because he also had the conversion.
He also had the 2-point conversion sack, but they don't want to count that. And then he also had another sack where he had Carson Wentz down.
Yes. The same thing happened against Brady too, by the way.
It was the same thing. I will say this: he's on a tear. I'm looking at the Raiders' offensive line, bro, and I just don't see. Well, here's the thing: like,
Mo, check your DM. Go ahead.
Are they going to? They better not leave him single cover, like, because if you do, he's going to murder your quarterback. I don't want a quarterback to get murdered while I'm at the game. I don't want to see that, because I ain't got time to be fighting no Raider fans. I just know they better figure it out, because I know he literally made them take Taylor Heineke out of the game. He was gonna get fudged up.
Yeah. Or as Sin would say, mollywopped.
Mollywopped.
I like where Bosa is. I think, it's funny because at the very, very beginning of the season, I was adamant he wasn't going to get 20 sacks. I was adamant about it. And now I'm hoping I was wrong. I'm hoping I was wrong. So I think he's got a chance to do it, man. I think he can get the 20. The thing is, at what point do you keep pulling him? And that's what it is. Kyle made a very good comment about it. He said, we could have left him in there. He would have got more sacks. He said, but I made a decision for the 49ers, not for him. Coaches have to allow players to set certain records, and I want to take you guys all the way back to that game against Denver. Was it George Kittle's rookie year? Yeah. Where he was 1 catch away from setting the all-time tight end receiving record, right? And Kyle was like, I didn't know it at the time, and I wish I did. I probably would have gave it to him. These coaches, it's one thing to have a good game, right? It's another for the coach to acknowledge and know what the goal is and give it to you to set you up for it. Do you think Kyle puts him in a position to get these numbers? That's the big question. What's the risk? You know what I'm saying? Or I think he's a little bit more important to us in the.
He's got to play. You got to let Nick Bosa play. Like, you got to let him play. And remember, you said at the beginning of the show, when I came on here, that the 49ers could possibly get that first seed. And I think as a head coach, that's what I'm looking at. And so if I'm going to get the first seed, I need my first players on this field. You know what I'm saying? And so, Nick is doing everything in his ability to stay healthy and all that type of stuff. Just let the guy play. If he gets the sacks, cool. If he does, just let him play football and the sacks will come. I think that's what I'm trying to say. Don't try to force him trying to get the sack, because that's what's gonna mess this whole thing up. Let him naturally continue to do what he's doing. I guarantee he's gonna get 2 sacks in the Raiders game. I can feel it. And I'm hoping it's 3, because if he gets 3, then he broke the 49ers all-time record, which is all record. Yeah. And then he would only need 2 more in the Arizona game. We talk about a rookie. We talk about some guy I ain't never heard of playing quarterback. Oh, they getting effed up. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Let him just be him. You know what I mean?
I like it. I like it a lot, man. This secondary, man, I'm not going to lie to you. I was a little concerned about the secondary. It just seemed like they weren't going to block Dotson all night long. And then when they finally started doing it, all of a sudden McLaurin woke up. Is this secondary a little bit concerning, knowing how effective the pass rush this game was, right? Even Jordan Willis was getting busy back there. He didn't have any sacks, but he was disruptive. He was also very disruptive, right? Knowing what Bosa was doing, what Jordan Willis was out there doing, this defensive line was just all over the quarterbacks. They still had a time trying to control these guys like Dotson and then McLaurin.
I mean, they were getting beat. They were getting beat. They were getting beat. They weren't scoring. All right.
Well, Dotson got a couple.
Dotson got a touchdown, and McLaurin got a touchdown. They only had 20 points.
Mm-hmm.
And let's talk about the Dotson touchdown, because it happened after that McLaurin catch, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, you do the big catch down there, and next thing you know,
Curtis Samuel had a touchdown also.
Curtis Samuel had a touchdown. So McLaurin didn't have a touchdown then.
Yes, he did. They had 3 touchdowns in this game.
So what they do? Miss an extra point? It was 37-20.
I'm going to say yes. McLaurin had 1, Dotson had 1, and so did Curtis Samuel.
Oh, they went for a 2-point conversion and failed. Nick Bosa got the sack.
The sack, right?
Okay, so it was the 3 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
So the way that they utilize their wide receivers to me is what's more concerning, because they switched them up in the slot. So if you look at how they scored, I hate to say that it was on Jimmy Ward, but the Dotson one wasn't on Jimmy Ward. Dotson was lined up. He just ran across the middle, and Hufanga and Diamador just don't know how to communicate. But that's young people stuff.
Right.
So if you guys feel that they're suspect because they're young and they're learning, then oh well. Right. But I didn't feel like it was just a brain fart. It was in the goal. It was in the goal line. It was like a goal. It was just so weird. You knew something was going to happen. You knew there was going to be some type of miscommunication, and Dotson fell across the middle and was wide open because Hufanga didn't get back in his zone or whatever or whatnot. As far as the McLaurin touchdown, I mean, you knew one of those guys was going to score. You tried to stop him. I thought he would have been the one. I knew Dotson was going to have a game because we were going to focus on taking McLaurin out. The moment Mooney got the moment Mooney got hurt was the issue.
Mm-hmm.
So if Mooney isn't playing, then yes, the secondary is going to be suspect. If Mooney is playing, then I don't think I'm worried too much about the secondary. Diamador's in his second year. He's still learning on the spot, and you got a second-year safety still learning on the spot. Deshaun Gibson, I guess you could say he's still learning on. I don't know, but as it might be the weakest link of the defense, but it is what it is. They got us here, and we're the number 1 defense for a reason. They also have a lot of turnovers and interceptions too, so you can call them weak all you want, but they gets the ball.
Well, I didn't call them weak. I'm just
no, not you. No,
okay.
I'm just saying that people might feel like they're the weakest link, but they still find ways to stop the team.
I mean, even the weakest link, there has to be a weakest link on the defense. Even if we have the number 1 defense.
I would say that's the weakest link because you're missing how many starters in that secondary? And you put a veteran into a new position.
Right.
So, he might be playing it better, but he still belongs at that safety spot. But because you got another veteran at the safety spot, you just moved and shifted a veteran. So they might be it might be the weakest link on the team, but they still producing. And so Jimmy Ward's interception was amazing. So Jimmy's jumping routes now. This is the second time he did it. Matter of fact, Jimmy Ward got 3 interceptions. Isn't that 1 less than Talanoa Hufanga, who has 4?
Right.
I mean, Deshaun Gibson dropped 1.
Mm-hmm. He's got 1 this year too, I think.
He does, but he dropped 1 in this game.
Mm-hmm.
So they can make plays. It's just, they gotta They got to get back. They got hit with a 3 wide receiver whammy. And the cool thing, Mose brought that up because it's going to happen. So look at the playoffs, right? Mose talked about this last night on Nitty Gritty Niners. If you didn't watch it, make sure you go check it out. Mose said, look, if we got to play Dallas, you get a 3 wide receiver monster. If you got to play Philly, you get a 3 wide receiver monster. And it's more like not it's more of them shifty guys. So I'm more concerned about Philly's wide receivers because of their speed than I am about Dallas wide receivers. I mean, CeeDee Lamb's a monster, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like he can be dealt with. CeeDee Lamb can be handled, right? Put Mooney Ward on him, you lock him up, boom. It's the other guys with those that can be shifty in that slot. That's why I felt like the Commanders receiving core looked like they were going to have a day. But that's when you got to lean on your pass rush, and your linebackers got to play good coverage. At some point, our linebackers start saying, these motherfuckers is passing the ball. Let's just drop back a little bit. Like, you know what I mean? So we got the best linebackers in the game, and that kind of helps out with everything.
Well said. Well said. All right, so I got a couple more questions for you. Then we're going to get into a big deal or no big deal at the end of the show, and then we'll go into our super chat segment. All right. So, what are the biggest obstacles that stand in the way of the 49ers being successful and winning it all this season, in your opinion?
The biggest obstacle, I mean, if there's another injury to the quarterback position, because now you're talking about if Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be cleared and healthy to play. To me, that's the only obstacle. Or if you lose, I would say a key piece to the defense. That could be an obstacle. I mean, we have depth, but imagine Nick Bosa not being able to play in the playoffs. That negates everything that we did to get there. I mean, I'm sure the team can find a way to come together, but you're talking about the most dominant defensive player in the game. That's like the Rams not having Aaron Donald out there on the field. Like that's what Nick Bosa is. So those would be injuries, Mike, would be the only obstacle. I think I was just saying injuries all across the board. The injuries, that's it. Other than that, the 49ers injuries, and maybe if they get in their own way, possibly, like that's it. If they beat themselves.
It's so interesting that you said that, right? I thought maybe you would say a team, right? The biggest obstacle in the 49ers way, and I thought maybe you would name a team like the Chiefs, the Eagles.
Nah, man.
It's all in-house is what you're saying.
The 49ers, the only way they lose anything is if they get in their own way. Hey, I look, y'all can stay stuck on that Chiefs game. I'm going to go back to 2019, that 2020 Super Bowl. 49ers were beating the Chiefs for what?
3.5 quarters.
53 minutes. I think it was the 7-minute mark where the 49ers actually like kind of just started melting away because it's a 60-minute game. So I would say for 53 minutes, even into the fourth quarter, they still had the lead. You just started watching it wither away. And a lot of people like to say that the defense ran out of gas. Defense couldn't stop. A lot of people blame Jimmy Garoppolo. It's kind of like, whatever. But listen, 49ers beat them. I felt like they got in their own way, bro. Like they got to stop doing it. I think with Brock, though, if he is the guy going forward, he doesn't look like he gets in his own way. He looks like he's a guy that's just trying to figure out where to get this ball and get it to that person and then let them do it. Because once he gets the ball out of his hands, it's not on him. It's on the playmakers, right? And as long as Brock continues to do a good job distributing the ball, then it's up to those guys. They got to hold on to the ball. They got to make a play. And so the only way that they don't do well is if they get in their own way.
I saw a couple of national power rankings come in. Okay. Now, say what you want. This was one of the worst games we saw from Talanoa Hufanga in a while. I don't think it's a coincidence. Maybe it is. I don't think it's a coincidence that it's off the back of him making his first Pro Bowl. Okay.
I'm not.
Now this week.
For the record, this is Mike's conspiracy. Not me.
Yeah, I'm going somewhere with this. I'm leading to a question. So he gets announced to the first Pro Bowl. He's all excited. You know what I'm saying? He's hyped, as he should be, right? Congratulations. He earned that. Not taking anything away from him. But I also don't think it's a coincidence that he has one of his worst games in the last 6-7 games, right? And everyone gets a mulligan. It's cool, right? We see great players make mistakes also, right? Trent Williams, Pro Bowler as well. I was surprised he didn't have any false starts. Instead, it went to the right side this week. 2 false starts on Mike McGlinchey instead of on the left side of the line, right? And then you see my man Talanoa Hufanga have a couple of hiccups, right? And that happens. He's got to settle back down, and he will. I'm sure he will, right? Get it out the way. I'm okay with that. I'd rather it happen now than in the postseason. But now this week, the 49ers were listed as number 1 on 4 different power rankings.
Really? Which 4? I only had 2. Which 4?
Well, I look at people who do their own also. So the ones that I saw was NFL,
NFL.com, and NBC Sports.
Right. Those were the national ones. Gotcha. I look at a couple of guys who do power ranking. Like there's some guys that I saw that had Detroit listed as number 3 in the power rankings, right? And they've been going toe-to-toe with a lot of opponents. I understand those kind of rankings, right? So I also found a couple of small guys 2 people who had the Niners as number 1 as well. Okay. Eagles lose a game. They drop down 1. You know, they were Eagles were number 2 in a lot of these lists and things like that. With the hype, the Pro Bowl announcements, now this is the hype too loud. Will the players start feeling themselves? Will they start smelling themselves? Or do you think the Niners are above that? Because we've seen this happen. We've seen this happen in the NFL.
You brought this up because I'm sitting here looking at a power ranking right now, and I'm saying maybe the 49ers should feel disrespected because they should be number 1, period. Okay. And so if I look at these national ones, never mind the other ones, but if I look at the national ones, I mean, they're only, how ironic is that they're power ranked number 1 for NBC Sports. Who works for NBC Sports? And then NFL.com. Who's the big fan over? I know, and I'm not saying like Peter Schrags from Good Morning Football does that, but you know, he's a big wig and he loves his 49ers. And so like, it's ironic how he's there. The 49ers are number 1 on those 2 national media outlets, and then the rest 5 and 6. Mike, that's what I got. 4, 5, and 6. Orange Bowl Jacksons, New York Knicks in it. Like that's where they are. And so for me, if I'm a 49, I'm like, this is a little bit disrespectful because we're on an 8-game winning streak. I don't care what the records say. We're hot, and they still don't want to acknowledge it. Now, there's a couple of them that are out there acknowledging that, and there's a couple of them out there saying, yo, they're in an 8-game win streak with a 3rd-string quarterback. They need to be – I don't care what Detroit is doing. They've had their coach and their quarterback healthy. This team is figuring it out. So, I don't know. I'm just thinking that they're like they might be a little bit playing with more chips on their shoulders, which is what I want them to play, right? Because when they're playing with a chip on their shoulder, they're going out laying down the wood. Pause.
See, now you're talking, you have that Fred Warner mindset, right? Fred Warner's not going to look at the ones that have them ranked at number 1. He don't care about those. He's going to take all. He's gonna look. Hey guys, we are on an 8-game win streak with our 3rd-string quarterback, and he's gonna say, "Look at this shit." Bow. He's gonna smack that up on the wall. They got us ranked 5. Bow. They got us ranked 4. Bow. They got us ranked 3. Bow. This one has a 6. We got to make everybody know that we number 1. See, that's how Fred Warner thinks. I'm worried about the young guys though, and that's what Fred Warner's job is. Fred Warner's job is to keep that defense humble, to keep that defense motivated, right? That's that green dot. That's what his job is. That's what his job is, and he's doing a damn good job. So you think, Mike, ignore the 2 national ones, look at all the other ones.
I just got that. My favorite player is Fred Warner, so I just got that mentality, bro. I'm always an underdog in the world, so I like the disrespect. It don't feel good, but it makes me perform better. So I'm thinking if Fred Warner, he's the captain, and he's like, he's thinking that way, bro. I would say. And so listen, it'll be all good.
All right. I like it, man. All right. Let me see if I got any more questions before we get into this. Oh, there is one more. Okay. If there was one record for someone to break this season, any record. Now we talking about Bosa with the sack record, right? Mm-hmm. We can talk about Christian McCaffrey all-purpose yards for this year. There's a couple of records that are out there that the Niners have an opportunity to make. Which one record would you want to be the one?
Oh, it's got to be the sack record, man. I haven't seen it. We have it. Not only will he be the leading sack rusher for the 49ers, we can kind of erase Aldon Smith. And then on top of that, he'll be at the top of the league. And now you got all these other defensive ends that are going to want to have to try to break his record. I mean, shout out to Michael Strahan because this record has been here for a minute. And so, like, if Nick can break that, that's really setting the tone. It's also going to increase his bank account, but I'm not paying him. So, yeah, like, I think that would be the record. That's one of those hard ones to break, bro.
Two people in the chat have said the one that I was going to say.
Uh-oh. Which one?
Two people in the chat said it. This is the record I want right here.
Okay.
That's the record I want right there. That's the one right there. I get it. Bosa's going to have a whole career. He's got plenty of time to get to that sack record, especially with the extra game now.
Yeah, right? But that's not promising. But none of these records are promising. So, like, but I like this one. It's not promising, Mike. He can get injured one year and then don't get it and then not come back. Like, things can happen. But if this one right here, that's never happened.
So right here?
Yeah.
It's right here. It's that kind of life. That's the one I want right there.
I like that. It's never happened. Yeah. It's never happened. That means that Kyle Shanahan will be another trendsetter. That means Kyle Shanahan would be, oh man. And nobody better talk shit about John Lynch ever again. If they do, I'm just gonna slap the shit out of him.
It's a wrap. GM of the year.
Yep.
Right? We got the coach of the year. We got the GM of the year. I mean, I know he's not going to qualify for it, but we might have the rookie of the year in Brock Purdy too.
Hey.
Come on now.
Hey.
Where is he ranking right now? And all these quarterbacks since he's been in there. He's number one since he's been in there. Passer rating, all kinds of stuff, right? The Niners putting up what? 28, 29 points a game with him in there, something crazy like that, right? Now, we're going to get to this right here. Big deal or no big deal. Let me make a banner for this real quick because I got a couple questions for you here. Let me type this out.
Hey, yo, I can't front. Shout out to cousin Sid. Yo, that's the record. I still want him to get that sack record. Let's get both.
You pick one, I pick the other. Now we both got something to cheer for.
There we go. Let's do it, yo. Let's do it. Oh man.
All right. So big deal or no big deal. All right. The first one I'm gonna go with is something that we talked about earlier. This Javon Kinlaw thing. All right. Now Kyle said that Kinlaw came up to him and said, "Hey, how many more snaps you gonna give me?" And he said, he was at 13 snaps at that point. He said, "You're gonna go in there and finish out your 15." I think you said he ended up with 16 snaps. When they pulled him, he said, "I want to go back in. I feel fine." Is this a big deal that Kinlaw has that hunger in him? He wants to get back out there, but Kyle said no. I'm talking about the whole scenario. Coach, put me back in. No. Big deal or no big deal, and why?
I'm confused like a mug. Are you saying the fact
I want to get in? I'm saying no. Is that a big deal or not? You could take it however you want. It's a very broad question.
Yeah, I feel like that's a big deal, right? No, I feel like it's a big deal. If the guy wants to play and he's able to play, like, let him play. Like, Kyle, like, it's football, man.
Right.
Let this dude play. I see people saying no big deal. I get it, but you got to let the guy go out there and be the monster or the barbarian that he is. It's the only thing he knows how to do. Kyle can't continue to put these training wheels on people. And that's the issue. I feel like, you know what I'm saying?
Too long to still be holding them back, in my opinion.
Yeah, man. Like, stop holding their hand, man. Like, you don't gotta walk with the baby strap, yo. Like, the kid get it. Like, he just wants to play. My conspiracy was that I felt like Kinlaw was ready to go a long time ago, but because they put him on IR, I don't think his injury was even ever that serious, bro. But people don't want to hear that. It was just Kyle finding a way to manipulate the system so he could get some of his other guys, you know, reps or whatever or whatnot. I think Kinlaw is good. I'm gonna go with a big deal. Kyle's gotta let this dude play.
All right, Mo says not a big deal. There's a couple of people in here saying no big deal right now. They're saying no big deal right now.
Stipulation. Right now. I like that. Right now.
Right. I like the right now part. But then there are some people in here saying big deal. There are some people in here who think it's a big deal. And I'm not mad at these people. DeMarcus says it's a huge deal. Right? And it's just an opinion. We're not going to come to an agreement or anything like that. I can understand both sides of it. I really, really do. I think it's a big deal. I think that he sat out so long. 15 reps is not going to be enough through the postseason. He's going to need more of them. And if you truly want to know how his knees are going to feel after a game, simulate the real shit. Get him out there and let him play 18, 20, 22 snaps and see what he can do. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that was my thought on that one. That was my personal thought on that one. All right. I got another one for you. Now, this is some stuff I would normally discuss on Patreon, but forget it. We here now. Okay. Sin says big deal. Let him play. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
Let that man go out there, man, and figure it out. Kyle even said that he was. Kyle says he got to put the pads on and get out there. That's the only way we're going to be able to know. So
exactly.
I think Kyle would have answered big deal too. Go ahead, Mike.
All right. I got two more for you. Which one do I want to do? All right, I'll do this one first. George Kittle stole McLeod's touchdown pass. Now,
yeah, yo.
Now, Kyle flat out said that George Kittle, he didn't say he ran the wrong route, but
he ran the wrong route, bro. Like,
he said he was supposed to go one way. Instead, he ran towards open space. And Kittle went to the podium and he said straight up, I was running one way, but there were people over there. I said, why would I go that way? I'm gonna go over here. Now, there's two things about this, right? Okay. Forget the part that he stole someone else's touchdown. I don't care. I'd rather get the guaranteed touchdown. They can fight about it later on. They didn't bring a bunch of coverage over there. Both of them were still wide open, right? But George Kittle changing routes. Now, the things that stood out to me about that play is one, Brock Purdy saw it. Kyle said he hesitated a little bit. He was supposed to throw the ball a little bit earlier. He hesitated because there were two people in the same area, and he just decided to let it go. Kyle said that he was happy that the guys didn't fight over who was going to catch it or whatever when the ball was in the air. They communicated quickly. Go ahead and let Kittle get it. And then I don't know if you noticed, I felt like Kittle caught the ball, McLeod caught Kittle. That was a shared touchdown. I felt like McLeod was like, hey, I was supposed to be here right now.
You think McLeod would have caught it, though? Because I know, hold on, he
yeah, it's inverted. The camera's inverted. You can go to your settings and change it around real quick. I know what you're trying to do.
Never mind.
He was coming from the right side. Going
you said he was going across to the left.
The question is, could he have turned and caught it as opposed to Kittle catching it the opposite way?
So, I mean, look, that play could have ended in three ways, right? Two of them could have ended with a touchdown, and then the third way obviously would have been an incompletion. The best part about that play is there's no way anybody was intercepting that pass unless they tipped it like 6 feet in the air and gave people time to run out and come under and grab it.
Right.
So that was the three things. I was more concerned of them just like running into each other and just the ball falling out of their hands. Yes. That's usually the 49ers bad news bears look.
Yes. That's the 2010 Mike Singletary 49ers, right? You know what I'm saying? So is it a big deal that Kittle ran the wrong route?
No, because it's showing
snatching the touchdown. He ran the wrong route, and he is a veteran. He is a highly paid tight end.
Keep going, because it's not a big deal. And let me tell you why it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal because he audibles what he saw. And then when your quarterback, who usually typically don't see shit like that, is able to see that and get it to the guy that he trusts, then you rock with it. So yeah, Kyle Shanahan might have yelled at him You feel me? They got yelled at. I'm sure of it. Yo, Kittle, you ran the wrong route. What the? Well, coach, I called a touchdown. What the? Like that's how that conversation should have went, right?
That was one of those no. Yes, please.
Yes,
That's
right,
what it was.
right. And so the fact that he's avoiding crowds and running into open space, and then how about check mark for the quarterback for noticing that he ran into the open space?
Yeah.
And then threw the ball to where only his guys can get it. Now, I really don't think McLeod could have caught that pass, bro, because it would have been a weird turnaround. It was the right route. It was
yeah. All right. So you're gonna settle on what? No big deal or big deal?
I'm going that's a no big deal that he ran the wrong route, like that he changed the route. Excuse me.
I'm gonna settle on no big deal for one reason.
Okay.
The quarterback was able to still read, decipher, and pull the trigger. Now, had that confused the young man, the rookie, had that confused him, and it messed up the play, I would have said that was a big deal. But it wasn't.
I'm sorry.
Let them know, Mo. Ding that shit. Ding that one right there.
Hey, I'm not ding-dinging that. Pause. Listen. I watched Ray drop a couple touchdown passes. You know what I'm saying? Look, Jennings wouldn't have dropped that one. He wouldn't have dropped that one. That was in the end zone. He wouldn't have dropped that one. Jennings drops.
We've seen Jennings bobble a touchdown pass before.
We've seen him. The throw from Deebo
overtime.
No, remember? No, the throw from Deebo. Remember that?
That was the fourth quarter one.
That was the fourth quarter, bro. And I was like, Jennings, catch this ball, and he was like, "Oh, I got it. Listen, that was last season, though. Why we gotta keep bringing up the past, man?
I'm just saying. That's why Mo said he might have dropped it. That's why.
Lucky Melissa not in here, Mose, because Melissa, boy, she would have
tore his ass up.
She would have,
and I should have commented on it because she gonna watch this back, and then I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it later on.
Yo,
I know I'm gonna get it later
hurt
on.
So hard, mad yesterday. I was like, you ain't gotta apologize. She was mad at Mose, bro.
She don't discriminate either. If she got something to say, she gonna let you know, bro.
He said, "I don't give a damn. Let me shut up. I'm just instigating."
He doing that whole Deebo and Smokey thing.
Yeah.
When Melissa ain't here, I be talking my shit again.
When she leave, I'll be talking again.
I'm playing with you, Moles. Just chill, bro. Let it.
I just feel like the passes that Juwan Jennings has, he literally has the Kendrick Bourne spirit, yo. Yeah. He will drop an easy pass and catch a pass. You're like, wow. There was passes he was catching from Jimmy Garoppolo last year that were literally on the ground. I'm like, how does this big 6'5" guy reach down to his toes, catch that pass, and still get a first down? You got to take the good with the bad. Like it's he's a 7th round draft pick for a reason. I'm just saying. Right. He don't get a lot of reps like your 1s and 2s, bro. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Juwan Jennings' first start and got a win in his first start.
All right. So here's my last big deal or no big deal. Kyle Shanahan at the podium said that he was upset with how many field goals we had to settle for. He said, hear me out. He said,
come on, my nose.
He said we left a lot of points out there. He said he was frustrated in the first half and even in the second half settling for all these field goals, right? Now, Wayne, we put up 37 points.
Kyle was mad because we didn't have that 51 burger the Rams had. But can I allude to this real quick, Mike? Kyle Shanahan is evolving. I wanted to make sure I'm in the mic. I'm not higher. I'm not lower. I need to raise this up so you can hear what I'm about to say. Kyle Shanahan right now is evolving. I don't know. And I'm going to tell you why. What the fuck I'm talking about? I don't know why. You want to know why? Because he fully trusts Brock Purdy. He trusts his quarterback. I know trusts ain't a word, but it is when I'm talking. He trusts his quarterback, which means he is playing aggressive football, which means there was a game last week when Kyle Shanahan chose to just be aggressive and get the touchdown at the end of the game. I thought that was some shit. I said, wait a minute, Kyle. That's the Kyle Shanahan that we've been waiting for. But he's doing it because he trusts his quarterback. His quarterback is instilling like, Kyle, I got you. So Kyle's like, okay, let's just go ahead and be us. So yeah, Kyle wants to put up a 50 burger. Here's the question. Can the 49ers, for the first time this season, they got 2 games left, can they get over 40 points? They don't have one 40-point game this year, correct?
I thought
I feel like we do.
You got me. Hold up now. Hold on.
I feel like they don't have a 40. Do they have a 40 game? I don't know.
33, 13, 38.
I don't think they have a 40.
37. We got a couple 37s and 38s. I don't see it. Nope. No 40s.
Yeah.
No 40s.
They're going to score 40 points against these Raiders, bro.
You think so?
Josh McDaniels is going to go back to being an offensive coordinator after
Mose, chill.
What did Mose say?
We gave up 40. I'm about to send Mose home. Go to bed, bro.
Why is he awoke? Like, he's supposed to be asleep. Oh, he ain't got no job right now. No, I'm just playing. He don't got to work right now. That's what I meant to say. He is wide awake.
Oh, man. That's funny, though. But listen, I'm going to say this is a big deal, but in a positive way. I'm going to say that this is a big deal in a positive way. Kyle Shanahan knows what this team is capable of. Being disappointed in a 37-point performance, that's saying something. The league is in trouble, bro. And that was a very good defense we went up against. Now, we talked about them traveling and on the short week and all that coming to our house. I get it. But the one thing they say about defenses in the NFL is that they travel well, right? That's been the thing for decades. I mean, as long as I've been watching football, you can pack up the defense in the run game. Everything else, you got to see what happens. Special teams sometimes falters. The passing game sometimes falters, right? They talk about all that. They say you pack up your defense and you pack up your run game when you're on the road. And we put up 37 on that defense. I think Kyle Shanahan being upset about a 37-point performance is putting everybody on notice. Quiet as kept. Is that low-key? Not low-key?
Is that a big deal or no big deal? Is that what we're talking about?
I think it's a huge deal.
That's a huge deal, right? It's Kyle being petty. I love it. Like I like and aggressive. And what's some other words we could think about? I don't know though, Mike, if he was really talking about the 37 points. I don't think Kyle likes just leaving touchdown opportunities out there. And a lot of them can't. He was really talking about Mike McGlinchey. I don't know what you say.
Bro, I was gonna say it when you were done. He was calling out Mike without saying his name. He stopped making me settle for GD field goals, bro. What are you doing? What are you doing? I'm gonna walk down the block and I'm gonna go have a talk with the McGlinchey and say, hey, can y'all do me a favor? Give your son a message for me. Okay?
But Mike, I gotta say this, bro. McGlinchey has been playing really good football.
He has.
He just can't stop beating himself. And I was trying to explain this to everybody this morning on the show. I was like, listen, like McGlinchey he's weak and slow like that. So he's gonna try to get the advantage. He was jump starting, right? It's like, why are you false starting, bro? Like, and it's killing the drives. It's killing the drives. You take a second and short, make it a second and long or whatever, and now you got to run a totally different play. You can't go back in there with the same play because that play was designed to get a certain amount of yards, and now it just changes it, and then he just kills the drives, and I think that's driving Kyle Shanahan to go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, bro.
It's just funny because, well, do I want to say this right now?
Yep.
Nah,
McRib. McRib, yo.
I should let it go. I'm gonna let it go.
Let it go, bro.
I'm gonna let it go. I'm just saying that. How many bad plays did McGlinchey have in this game?
It's just the penalties, and I think he gave up 1 sack. Right? Did he give up a sack in this game? Felt like
I don't know. I have not. I don't look at the advanced stats like that often.
Let me see if I'm
not 100% sure. But all I'm gonna say is this: there's other offensive linemen that do the same thing Mike McGlinchey does, but they get excuses.
Because when Trent Williams does it, right, it's one time, right, and it's rarely a false start either. But it happens. It's rarely a false start. It's something different. But
that's the penalty Trent gets. He gets the false start. He's good for one a game.
Hold on, but when he does it, it don't take points off the board. That I think that's the biggest difference, yo. It's when Mike McGlinchey does it. It's like at the worst. His timing is terrible. Like he's just the worst timing of penalties.
But he's fixed that though. No more 4th down penalties. He come on now. Let's talk about it now. Right? Game-winning drive. And McGlinchey gives up the biggest sack of the game. Like, boom, game over. Those days are gone. Those days are gone. If you're gonna make that mistake, make it early, and then we gotta leave.
I don't know if those days are gone, bro, because we got 2 games left and then the playoffs, and he's gonna be playing against some mother suckers. Like, I mean, some edge, some bulls, some speedy guys, and he's got a definite, and so he's gonna try to get the advantage. Maybe he should just tip the plays like Trent, tip. Do what you gotta do.
One thing Mike McGlinchey doesn't get credit for, though, and I'm going to say this as often as I can, the bigger the competition he goes up against, the bigger the pass rusher, the better he plays. People don't want to give him that nod.
It depends on the name of the pass rusher, bro, because he struggles against the secondary pass rushers.
Yes. Yeah, I'm talking about linemen. If he's going up against a good defensive lineman, come on, man. Like you know what I'm saying. You're right.
No, I do.
When it's a blitzer, he's a little confused.
Everybody should be confused when it's a blitzer because you're not sure if you're supposed to which man you're accounted for.
That's the secondary pass rushers.
No. I mean the opposite end of that primary guy. Nick Bosa's primary.
Okay. So and then he'll struggle against like a Jordan Willis. I see.
Yes. Okay. Which is weird because that guy will come in with a move, some speed, a bull rush. Bull rush you bull rush him, he gets knocked on his booty. If you speed rush him, he's giving up a sack.
Mm-hmm.
It got to be a regular. It got to be the number one guy. Maybe just let him.
He be focused when the big dog is on him, though.
That's what I'm saying. Let him go against the big dog. Yeah. He does struggle against the blitz, though. That is a clear fact. That he struggles against the blitz. He's not sure.
When you said secondary, I was thinking position group.
That's fair.
Not the number 2 pass rusher. I get what you're saying. That's absolutely fair. All right. I don't have much else to go into. We can get to these super chats here.
Super chat it up, baby.
Last chance to get your super chats in right now. We're gonna do our super chat.
I do my show a little different because see, Mike, you don't pay attention to the chat, but they curse at me. They be like, you ain't see my fucking chat. I be like, I'm gonna read it when I get to I just play.
That's why I say it in the show, though. I put the reminder out there, guys.
No, you do. You do your stuff. You do it right. You do it your way. I just like to. It helps me with my fluidity of my show, so I just like to read it.
We were doing the live game, right? And if y'all on the part of the Patreon, so you can see the live game with us, make sure y'all get on over there. It doesn't matter what tier you're on.
We did a full haircut
for Christmas. We did for the Christmas Eve. Our gift to everybody was we put it on Facebook.
Oh, nice.
So we did it on Facebook. We didn't get flagged. I didn't see any flags, so that was pretty cool. I like that, right? If you guys aren't, but people were in the chat saying this is crazy. They're not paying attention to the chat and all that. No, mother suckers, I'm watching the game. I'm not trying to read the small print. I'm on full screen on my laptop experiencing the game with y'all. I don't want to see what y'all typing right now. I'm sorry. I want to watch the game. So, I try to tell people.
Mike never pays attention to the chat. So it's good that I'm here and somebody else, when they're here, usually there's a chat pay attention to guy person. Like, you know what I'm saying? But Yeah. So let's get to these super chats.
This is interesting here.
Mhm.
Where's Crosby going?
I say put him on. You're not gonna put him on Trent's side, so he's definitely gonna be on McGlinchey's side.
And
that's a big guy, and I think that's best for
fast.
He's fast, but that's better for McGlinchey.
He's got moves.
Yeah,
he's got 2 or 3 moves in his bag.
He's their Nick Bosa, guys.
He's different than Nick.
But I'm talking about as far as pass rusher. He's their Nick Bosa. He means what Nick means to us. He means to them.
Yes.
I love Chandler Jones, but he's not going to play.
This guy hesitates. He'll shake you before making contact with you. He'll run into your chest and then back up and spin. Like Crosby, he got some moves.
Does he remind you more of the Cowboy than like what a Nick Bosa does? Because Nick got the bends, the stretches, the breathes, the shakes, the let him goes.
Nick Bosa's specialty is his footwork and his hands.
See, I think it's that too, but it's also his height ratio, right? So he's not a tall.
It's that low center of gravity.
Yeah, that low. Yeah. I mean, you heard Chase Young say it, right? Chase Young was like, so Chase Young was like, his hands keep moving. They never stop. And then he was like, the hardest part about Nick is the fact that he's shorter. So his lower, the gravity thing is what makes him so dominant. It's like he that was dope. Like Chase Young was like bigging up Nick in the game. Like, yeah, that was dope. I thought that was cool.
All right, here we go. We're gonna start from the top. And if I'm missing any of them, Wayne, right now there's 7. I don't know if you can scroll back through the chat and make sure there's only 7 in there right now, but that's what I saw.
So I just added the 8th one.
Okay. All right, cool. So this one here, Miss Debbie, thank you so much. I think she sent this before we officially started. All right. I'm not going to be able to read that first word in parentheses.
Kujichagulia means self-determination.
Self-determination, yes. Blessings, Mike. Happy second day of Kwanzaa. Kujichagulia. Chagulia.
No, Chagalia.
Chagulia. Okay. Means self-determination. I already know our 49ers have enough self-determination to get the job done ahead of them. Let's go Niners. Now, for those of you out there who celebrate, happy Kwanzaa. All right. For those of you out there who celebrate, happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, whatever it is that you're into. This is a time of year where everybody is feeling, well, I'm not going to say everybody, but this is a lot of holiday time and everyone's up and up right now. I think that self-determination, though, is very, very important this time of year. This is also the time of year where suicide rates are the highest and all. So, that self-determination is important this time of year, right? You have to be determined and motivated to continue whatever struggle that you're going through. So if you guys are going through something, y'all know my Twitter handle is Mike Andrews 83. I'm there for y'all to talk. I have talked to plenty of people, not patting myself on the back, but people in the chat will confirm. They'll let you know that if I see it, I will respond and I will talk you through whatever for hours, just DMing. Like I got y'all. I don't put people's business out there. I don't name names or anything like that, but I'm there. So if y'all need anything, reach out to me. Miss Debbie, thank you so much for the super chat. Wayne, was there a response you want to address before we keep it moving?
No, I think you spoke about it spot on, and it's Kujichagulia. Thank you for that. Yeah, I always thought it was Cha.
My bad. See, we learn the English, and that's what we do.
Yeah.
All right. Nicholas Parra. He says here, what's good, my brothers? I didn't know this was on. I'm mad late. Facepalm. Keep the great content coming. Love it.
Nick. Right? That's my guy, man. Great dude, man. Great 49er. He should be doing his own content as well, but he definitely comes on and he supports just about everybody. He's one of the biggest 49er faithfuls I know. Biggest 49er faithfuls. And he got mad swag too. Jersey guy.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I thought he was. What's with the Britain flag in the
because we rock whenever we go on our trips, and he was able to meet the fellas from London, and so they gave him the flag, you know what I'm saying? I got one too.
I like that, man. It's sharp too. I like the color scheme and everything, how they work.
It is kind of dope, yeah.
All right. You want to take this one, man?
Bleed red and gold. Thank you so much for the contribution, super chat. I know y'all saw the sidearm throw with the defender in his face to Ayuk. First play of the game. Purdy composed and makes smart decisions. Ride or die with Purdy. to the Super Bowl. Let's go. Yeah, it's just that's another tool in his like toolbox. Like he just has a sidearm and it's pretty damn accurate, you know. It's like he's a bunch of quarterbacks mixed together, man. I remember watching, who was it? Matthew Stafford used to throw a nice sidearm. Like he just had some stuff. Now, look, I say rock until the wheels fall off with Brock. And the reason why I'm saying that is because if these defenses can't figure him out, you better keep playing this guy. Because I do know once the defenses start game planning for Brock, we might see a little different Brock. So right now, I like the Brock that we're seeing. I know people don't want to think about stuff like that because the kid is showcasing his skill set and everything like that. But there are some, discrepancies in his game, or he wouldn't have been so low on the totem pole. So we gotta look at it both ways. It's kind of like what we do. We gotta look at it both ways.
So if you were a defensive coordinator, what are you telling your linemen to do against Brock Purdy? Because I think it's fairly simple, if I'm being completely honest.
Can you put 8 in the box and try to confuse him?
I don't think that's it, because Kyle's system has beaters
built in. Confuse the fuck out of Jimmy Garoppolo, bro. He still can't accomplish that. So that's what I'm saying. Can you do that to where it confuses him? Is what I'm saying. Or does he have the pizzazz to still get the ball out?
The Kittle long touchdown, right? There was extra pressure coming, and Kyle said that there were 3 people he could throw to, but he's got to do it right away. Mm-hmm. He said he hit Kittle, and Kittle did the rest, right? And so what that means is this young man knows pressure's coming, get rid of it. He's got a timer built in. He's ready to go. I don't think that's how you stop him. If I'm going to be completely honest with you, I use his height against him. You bull rush as much as you can and get those hands up.
Yeah. I mean, you saw how many tip passes in this past game? 2 passes?
Exactly. In the last couple of games, he's probably got like 7 tip passes. Okay.
So, I thought I counted 2 this past game.
No, that's what I'm saying. The last like 2 or 3 games, I think he's up to 7. Like it's happening. It is. It is a lot.
But it also happened to Jimmy. So like these defensive linemen know that. And that to me, like that's what they're going to continue to do. But you know what, Mike? It doesn't stop them. They can't do it on every play. You know why they can't do it on every play?
Why is that?
You know why? Because Kyle Shanahan stretches the field in the run game too.
Mm-hmm.
So like them guys are going to get tired. So you could bat his balls down a couple of times in the beginning. Yeah, passes, my bad. Pause. But listen, they're still going to try to run the ball east to west. They're going to throw the ball east to west. So it's a gift. Yeah, it's a gift and a curse. I mean, that is a way to get to him, but it hasn't stopped them yet, Mike. Hasn't stopped them.
Right. And that's what I like, is that he adjusts the sidearm throw that we were just talking about in this super chat right here. You know what I mean? You get up high in my face, I'll throw around you. I don't have to throw over you. So I like that. I like that a lot. I like it a lot. All right. Mellow Trucker. He says, can y'all send me both of y'all flags? NB Niners, NGN. All right. So I got this flag from Nick, and I haven't heard from Nick in a long time.
I never got mine. So, but what I can do, I can send you. If I meet you in Vegas, I'll give you a flag. How about that? You find me in Vegas, and I'll give you one.
You're gonna have 7 Mellow Truckers coming up to you in Vegas.
Nah, I'll know Mellow Trucker when I see Mellow Trucker. He gonna have to show me his ID.
I don't think it's gonna say Mellow Trucker.
I know.
I could be wrong, but I'm just saying I don't think that's what it's gonna say. All right, here you go. It says, I think Raiders will feed Adams, need great rush. They're gonna try, right? I mean, he's their guy, but you know what happens when teams start taking care of Adams? You got guys like, what's his name, Collins or Hollins or whatever that little dude with the curly hair. What's his name? He be going. He be going.
They got Hunter Renfrow.
No, it's the other one. It's the other. Hold on. I'm pretty sure it's Hollins. Hold on. Raiders roster. I'm pretty sure it's Hollins.
So they got
and Darren Waller's back too. Matt Collins. Yeah, Matt Collins.
Waller could be a problem, but he not gonna be like I would worry about Waller maybe more than Adams. I feel like Adams is gonna be negated, yo. Like that ain't listen, first of all, that's not Aaron Rodgers and Adams. And we have one catch for 12 yards. Look, the 49ers. I just want to remind everybody that this is the best defense in the league. It's the best defense in the league in week 17 too. And it's not close. I'm not saying Adams isn't going to be force fed because that's what Jaguar was saying. They're gonna try to get him the ball, right? And I wouldn't be surprised if they put him in the slot. So that's whenever the receivers can't get off, they go to the slot. And when they go to the slot, now they're on Jimmy Ward. And I'm not saying Jimmy struggles. It's just that it's a different game. There now you got a great ass route runner in the slot, gonna put a move on Jimmy. So now your safeties. That's how you target the weakness of the team, right? We just talked about this. We said that the secondary was weak. That's the only way Adams eats. That's how McLaurin was able to get open. That's how like these big number one wide receivers, if we play Philly, they're gonna put AJ Brown there. Like that's how it happens. So pay attention to that. That's the only way he eats.
Yeah, I think you rattled Derek Carr. I think we should be okay. I'm not really worried about Darren Waller, and I know they love him over there, right? And they wanted to get that combination on the field together. But because of our linebackers, I'm not overly concerned.
Bigger guy though, Mike. So you're talking about a basketball player, catching passes. The only reason why I said I was worried is because I feel like if Derek Carr is rattled, that's the guy he's trying to get the ball to.
Because it's the quicker dump off and things like that. Absolutely, 100%.
And he's probably going to get hurt. He's been hurt all year because he's going to get hit by one of them
Dre Greenlaws.
Who had his worst game last week.
Hey, maybe being snubbed got to him, man.
Do you know what his PFF grade was, Mike?
If I had to guess, I would say 46.4.
Okay, hold on. So
this is gonna be bad because you smiling. The fact that you smiling about how bad my man's game was is hurting my feelings already. It might have been lower than that.
It was bad, Mike.
That's terrible, man. But
his PFF grade was red, Mike. Let me just give you the colors. Blue means you're hot.
Oh, it's not green no more?
Green, you're average.
Okay.
Like yellow. Lime green, yellow, you're cooling down, and red, you just, It was a 33.3, bro. God damn. He played 60 snaps.
I didn't. It was one of the games where I will say I didn't say his name a lot, and that's normally not a good thing.
I felt like he missed a couple of tackles. And they score those really high.
And see, the thing about that is this, right? With all that being said, we talked about how the secondary was having a problem with Dotson, and then McLaurin came on later on. We talked about Curtis Samuel getting his also. Now we're talking about how bad of a game Hufanga had. We're talking about Jimmy Ward being, out there as well. And now we're talking about Dre Greenlaw, and we still won that game by 17 points. And Kyle was mad that we left points out. This is a really good defense, y'all.
They also gave up 20 points for the first time since that Kansas City game. So, look, I'm not worried about it. I don't think Dre Greenlaw played as bad as his score was because you got to also factor in guys that came in for like 6 plays that got higher grades, right? And so, guys, he played 66 snaps. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. He just wasn't the best linebacker out there. To me, Fred Warner was the best linebacker out there in that game. Yeah.
I don't think anybody would argue with you about that one there. So, Jaguar, good comment here. He's got a couple of them here back to back. He says Kittle will be the difference maker in the playoffs. That is a statement, not a question. And as long as Kittle is stealing touchdowns, I'm going to agree with you.
I mean, it's just got. I've been saying give the damn ball to Kittle all year long. Like he's that energon. He's the energon cube of the team, bro. Deebo's the bully, but he's the give him the ball. He's gonna find a way to make a play.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You were absolutely right. You were 100% correct. And that's what I love about him, man. I like seeing this guy operate in space, the zigzagging across the field and things like that. Like I said, he don't have that straight line speed, but he knows when you're closing on him, and he knows if I make a cut, you got to make a cut. And if I make another cut back in the opposite direction and you don't time it right, I'm going to lose you. And that's what George Kittle does probably better than any other tight end in the NFL. That's what he does really, really well, man. You know, my man's went crazy. 6 catches, 120 yards, 2 touchdowns. I mean, what more could you ask for? Honestly.
I agree.
Honestly, man, that's what I'm talking about. All right, you take the next 2 here, and I'll respond accordingly.
Jaguar says, what's trippy is that we are a passing team.
Are we?
They are.
22 attempts?
How many 2 attempts?
22. Wasn't he 15 and 22?
I think it's more of like the volume, like with the result of what you're seeing from the passing. And so even if they're those short passes or whatnot, you're starting to see the ball being moved in the air. So like, yeah, they might have still ran the ball. How many times did they run the ball? I don't have that stat broken. I got it right here, so my bad. So they did possess the ball a lot more. I will tell you that. God dang, like 7 minutes more to be exact. Jesus.
Yeah, no, they had us. I tried to tell you that at the beginning.
Dag.
We don't get out handled like that, man. It doesn't happen often. But we're efficient though. 37 points with 7 less minutes.
Well, that's the word that I was trying to say, like the efficiency from the passing game. So 22 passing attempts, 15 completions, but look what they did as far as the yards. I mean, it was the ratio was higher in the run, but it was only 26. So it was a four more runs, you know what I'm saying? But I didn't think we ran the ball well. And if you take away the 71-yard touchdown run, we don't even rush for 100 yards.
It's ugly then. It's real ugly.
Real ugly.
Real ugly then. So I agree with you, man. You know, but I think this team is more balanced and just more efficient in the passing game now. I really think that. That's what I think. I think the balance is still there. I wouldn't call the Niners a passing team, but the passing game is now a weapon, not before it felt like we were passing because we had to. Like, all right, this is too long of a down to run. We got to pass and see what happens, right? Or it was a pass because we done ran the ball so much we're going to catch them slipping. Now it's balanced. We can go out there and pass whenever we want. We can run whenever we want. We're going to figure out what this team does well. As the game goes on, we're going to make those adjustments at halftime, and we're going to come out here and punch you in the mouth. And that's what the Niners are doing. They're making this. Wayne, is this the best second half team? Like, come on, bro.
Yeah, because they learn how to adjust. Like the coaches adjust. Like the players are adjusting. I mean, you go from Brock Purdy looking like, oh shit, like we'll win this game, but it's gonna have to be because of the defense or this is that and the third, right? And then Brock Purdy comes out and says, "Nah, I got this, yo," and just marches down the field. I don't care if they were scripted plays or not. He still made it happen. And then after that, they just kept hitting the button. Like it was, the button was pushed. So yes.
Absolutely. All right. You got another one that I'll
Sean
take.
Page. All right, no problem. Thank you for the contribution, man. What up, Niner gang? At least Chase Young didn't take over the game like he did 2 years ago with Nick Mullins. Well, for Chase Young, they had him limited too. Like I believe he only had like 20 snaps. I don't have his stats pulled up.
I heard Ron Rivera say that they wanted to give him 15 snaps, and I know he exceeded that. He exceeded it.
Wasn't by much more though. It wasn't like 50 to 30. It wasn't even 30. But he was dominant. So just imagine him out there for his majority amount of snaps. Like he was dominant all game. Like I will say that Chase Young
early on too. Like early, I was like, oh God, he's going to be a problem this game.
Yeah, they're like They couldn't figure it out. But listen, I thought he played well. And hey, man. But remember, we said let him play. He gonna be on a limit count. You know what I'm saying? Like, but whoever they play next week, because they still hunting, they gonna get a full dosage of Chase Young.
They sure are. Thank you so much, Sean, for that super chat. And I agree with you though, man. At least he didn't take over. You know, Big Des, thanks for the super chat. He says, think we can get Ayuk to 1,000 yards. Now Ayuk is at 855. He needs 145. So let's just round up.
72.5.
75 passing yards.
72.5 yards per game, bro. That's it.
I think he can do it.
I think he can do it. Just got to get him. If he can get another one of those big 50-yarders and then a couple of other, And look, I'm looking at your secondary, right? And I'm trying to figure out, like, all right, so I mean, Rock Ya-Sin, right? Nate Hobbs are your guys. I don't know, man.
I wish I had the sound effect, but I want to go to. Oh wait, I do got the one I want. Hold on, I got the one I want. Secondary.
I mean, they got Deron Harmon there. Well, your safeties and I just Trayvon Moreg. I mean, he's free safety. Look, the way they start the game off with Brandon Ayuk, quick throw, quick slant. Let him eat, let him feast. But the cool thing is, don't force it to him. I like what Brock Purdy is doing. The majority of what he's doing, he's spreading that ball out, and that's what's causing. You don't think he's spreading the ball out? See, I do. All right, so let me go to the distribution of what he did in this game.
It was like 4 or 5 people had catches. I don't know about spreading the ball out, man.
I mean, how many people you want to have catches?
We had games where 8 people had catches, bro. Like, come on, don't
because they were in the game and they were utilized. You want him throwing the ball to motherfucking what's the guy that played in the game? He had to block
4 people. That's it. I don't know why Ray McCloud was listed as 0-0. I don't know why they put that on there. He didn't have a reception. Why is he listed if it's all zeros?
I got Kittle. George Kittle. I got Ray because he got a target, but it's not a reception. No, but these are the guys that had targets. So it's a 4 people had catches, like you said, Juwan Jennings. But who else was out there?
Juice.
Not in a pass.
Well, all right. So
I'm saying when he throw the ball to the people that's supposed to catch passes, that's spreading the ball out. So if Juice wasn't a target, you can't get mad that he wasn't a target. The only people that one target that he missed was the Ray. I wonder if they targeted the Ray that catch that Kittle caught. Was that his target? No, it was another target. Remember, it was a throw to the left and it was low and he couldn't catch it. You remember that throw?
Mm-mm.
It was he dropped back, it was in the shotgun. He dropped back in the pass, and it was a quick dart to Ray out here, but it was low to the ground. That was his miss. So that was his only target. So they didn't even give him that other target.
Right.
That other target was for Kittle, I guess.
Yeah.
So I mean, I get what you're saying. There's been times we spread it around to 8 people, but we didn't have 8 different targets. We only had 5. It's 4 for 5.
Yeah. I mean, look. I guess
his question. I'm saying yes, though.
I do think that. And, again, we talked about how efficient it is. There's no need to have that many pass catchers, right? There were games where we would have 2 tight ends and Juice. That's 3 more. That's 3 more people right there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It would be Kittle. It would be Ross Dwelly. You know what I'm saying? Who's 81? Croft. It would be Kittle, Croft. You know what I mean? And then Kyle Juszczyk.
Willie Snead was his name. That's the guy I was talking about.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Because he was in on that run blocking play, and I'm sure he played more snaps, but
right.
He wasn't a target.
Yeah,
sorry,
exactly.
man. I just came to me. I could not think of his name.
It's all right. I'm not mad at you, bro. I'm not mad at you. Sean, he says, "Where is Nick? He reads our chats." Boo, boo.
I gotta hit Nick up, man. Hit him up. Ask Nick where Nick is.
Sean, Merry Christmas, bro.
Yeah,
I love you, man.
Kanan, we love you.
That's right. My man Kanan over there. That's what I'm talking about. But no, Sean's having some fun with us, and I appreciate it, man. Keeps the chat live, keeps us smiling, man. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, man, I'm sorry. I will work on reading the chats, guys. Just know that if the shows are slow, see, I get on and I flow. You know what? I just get on and I go. And so when I stop to read chats, I end up responding, talking about the Eagles for the first 20 minutes of the show. Like, that's the stuff that I end up doing when I start reading the chats. You know what I mean? So I try not to do that and bring y'all what I put together for everybody. So I apologize about that. I'm going to work on it. I'm a work in progress, guys. 6 years doing this. I'm trying. I'm a work in progress. So y'all got to work with me. All right. You got the next 2? You want these next 2?
Yep. Bleed Red and Gold says, thank you for the super chat. We know what Jimmy gonna do. Just saying. Not hating, but it's on tape. We don't know what Purdy gonna do with playoff pressure. I mean, these are facts, but it's a fact. But Jimmy we also won playoff games with Jimmy, and we haven't won any playoff games with Brock Purdy. So that's also a fact. So you got it's a fact. You can't say you haven't won with Jimmy because we have.
We've won playoff games in spite of Jimmy. With him, I mean, look, there was games where Jimmy Garoppolo won a playoff game and he was just as effective as the backup quarterback who never touched the field. Never get
either way, we won the games with Jimmy.
No, that's true, but that don't mean nothing. Like if we made it to the playoffs and Jimmy was healthy, if Jimmy came back next week for the Raiders game, they say, "Hey, we're not going to play you right now." I wouldn't want them to put him in the playoffs because I've seen this guy just be trash in the postseason. Yeah, and he was trash.
Mainly in the fourth quarter, Mike. That's when he's trash. And if you go back to the 2019, who do we play first? We played the Vikings, the Packers, then the
Cowboys.
Was it the Cowboys in 2019?
Pretty sure that was the year. I'm pretty sure we played the Cowboys.
So I'm saying the wrong teams then, right?
You talking about
what's the year we went to the Super Bowl?
2019. All right, so there was a Cowboys game that year, there was a Packers game, and there was a Vikings game.
It was a
Packers were the NFC Championship game. Cowboys, shoot.
I don't remember the Cowboys game, bro. I remember the Cowboys game last year because I was there.
Was that last year?
Yeah.
Oh,
it was the Packers and the Vikings. That's what I thought. All right, so because we had to buy.
We had to buy. That's why. Yeah. You're right. We had to buy.
So in that Vikings game, if you go back to watch that game, Jimmy was good, and then he wasn't. Just all of a sudden, like he was doing really bad throws, and then they just started running. And then we ran the ball the majority. Remember, he threw that almost interception.
He tried to throw 2 interceptions to Kendrick.
Yes, Kendrick. Yep. And that happened.
To throw 2 interceptions. He wasn't trying to. I shouldn't have said it that way. He wasn't trying to throw interceptions.
He literally was trying to get the ball back to the Vikings. Yeah. Kyle pulled the ball, and then in the Vikings game, we were able to run it all over. We're usually able to run on the Vikings
8 times or something like that.
Yeah. And then in the Super Bowl, Jimmy was fine until to the fourth quarter. Like, think about it, because Deebo was eating. What are we talking about here? Deebo was feasting, and I kept saying to myself, why are we not getting this ball to Deebo Samuel anymore? Like, and people kept saying, oh, they figured Deebo out. I didn't see that shit.
No, they just stopped giving him the ball.
They just stopped giving him the ball.
Stop giving him the ball. Yeah.
And then you ask Jimmy to start doing too much. Throw the ball down the field. Why? I couldn't figure it out. Then his ball started getting tipped at the line of scrimmage.
Chris Jones came alive and was like,
I'm not saying Jimmy's great. I'm just saying, like, he can play, and he sucks in the fourth quarter. Those statistics are atrocious, so we're not even gonna bring them up. He's terrible.
Do you remember Chris Jones in the draft?
At
the combine.
I remember Chris Jones.
Remember when he was running, he fell, and he at the live mic, my dick came out.
He came out. Yep. Yep. I knew you was gonna bring that up. I knew you were.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. My dick came out. He was all just calm with it. Like, what you do? You ain't got to tell nobody nothing, bro. We saw you fall. Get up and tuck it. Like, what you doing? All right. I'm sorry. Was that your first one or your second one? That was your first one.
That was my first one. Yeah.
All right. Here you go. Come on.
Riggs. Carr's rookie season torched us. People got stabbed and shot during the game. Raiders 49ers. Games are wild. Stay safe. Happy holidays, NB. And he's right. It's
difference is both teams were in the Bay Area. Yeah. Those fans ain't the same now.
They had to move out. They had to move out of the Bay Area.
Yeah.
I
think it's a little bit different. Now, I did see a video of 2 Raiders fans fighting each other.
Yeah, that's what somebody told me earlier. I think it was Chris. He was like, well, don't worry, Breezy. You ain't got to worry about fighting nobody. They fight each other.
They fighting each other in the stands.
And then you got lady Raider fans. Never mind.
The Patriots face the dude just standing there. Yeah. I'm not. Hey, listen, Breezy. I will say this, man.
I know. Go ahead.
No. But you know I love you. You my guy.
Yeah,
if you go out there and get duffed out by a Raiders fan, I'm not letting you on the show no more.
Bro, there's no way in the heavens of hell But I'm gonna get this though. I will come down with the wrath of God and Satan at the same time, bro.
Oh my God.
It's just not gonna happen.
Wait, I mean, look, anybody can get stole. That's not what I'm talking about. But if you end up on a video and you the one sliding down the bleachers and stuff,
bro,
we gonna have a problem. I'm gonna call you and cuss you out.
I'm not getting sliced. First of all, I'm just grabbing somebody. I'm not gonna sit there and keep talking shit. Somebody getting grabbed by the neck, they getting thrown down in my seat, and then they're not getting up. I will stop a motherfucker, yo. Like that's I wear Timberlands to the game. If you know what I'm talking about. All right, so yeah.
I just don't want to see you like my man that was in that pack.
I know, bro. That junk was crazy.
Oh my God. Oh man, just don't get slid. That's all. And like I said, anybody can get stole. I've been sucker punched before. That's different.
Well,
what happens
sucker punch is different though.
That's what I'm saying. What happens after the sucker punch?
But my jaw is good. So if you think you can sucker punch, it's not gonna knock me out. It's just
no.
You get what I'm saying?
You gonna hit me and it's gonna,
right.
Now you got a problem. Now you got to deal with me. So just don't get slid. That's all I'm saying.
I got you, Fed. Right. I got you. This shit gonna be funny though. I can't. Matter of fact, I'm gonna videotape the shit.
You better not be out there trying to record and duff somebody with one.
I just don't want to get arrested, man, because I ain't trying to go to no jail in California, man. I mean, like wherever they, that's even worse.
Some hookups out there, bro.
That's even worse.
If you get in trouble though, you can call me. I know some people out there. I got you.
I feel you.
I know some corrections officers out there, so I got you.
I got cool.
All right. So I got the next two. Chanel, thank you for the super chat. He says the
Chanel
mic
or Shaniel.
Shaniel. I'm sorry, like Daniel, but was she? I'm sorry.
I don't know. That's why we're asking.
Oh, we did this before. I feel like we argued about this before.
I feel like we have too.
I think it's Chanel.
I think it's Shaniel.
It's spelled like Daniel, Shaniel, but I think it's Chanel. Anyhow, thank you for the super chat. Type it phonetically for us in the chat now. I know you're still watching. It says the Mike and Wayne show, the show I always look forward to watching. Great show, boys. Hey, happy birthday to Purdy. That's right.
Happy birthday, Purdy.
Do the ding thing.
You
got I don't have that one. There it is, man. He was born in 1999, the year Steve Young got hurt and left football forever.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. He said that we were correct too, but we said his name we said the name 40 times differently. I don't know which one it is.
Yeah, we said it a couple of different times. So I apologize about that.
Me too.
But he's in here back to back. He says, and since then, the Niners and the fans have been looking for their next Steve Young, a Super Bowl winning quarterback. What do you guys feel about this one? And we've been talking about Purdy all night long, but it's cool. This is why I don't mind doing the super chat segment, because it gets to bring people back for stuff that they might have missed earlier. And so, in short, I think we're all very confident. I don't know if you were here when we said this earlier, but I said I'm more concerned about Kyle's play calling than I am about Purdy's ability to execute it. I think Purdy is going to execute whatever Kyle calls. I haven't seen him do a whole bunch of stuff off script. When a play breaks down, we saw the little pirouette on the sideline and threw it away. That's the extent of him with a broken down play. I don't see him trying to extend plays and putting the ball in harm's way and things like that too often. You know what I'm saying? This kid is very efficient. He's very headwise, and I like that. As long as Kyle stays in his bag, I am very confident about what Purdy can do for us until I see otherwise. Again, this is now the point where, he's got the 3 starts under his belt. The teams are going to start to put some stuff together. We're going to see these next 2 weeks. But Wayne, what are your thoughts on this quarterback?
I think Brock Purdy's just the real deal. There's nothing else to say. I mean, what has he shown? He's proven that he can play on this level. He's proven it in the past 4 weeks. And so I think what Mike said is spot on. I don't want Kyle I don't want Kyle to put more on his kid's plate than he can handle, but I feel like Brock Purdy is going to go out there and just do what Mike said. He's going to go out there and execute. But I do think off script, I feel so much more comfortable with Brock Purdy off script than I did with Jimmy Garoppolo off script. And it's not because Brock Purdy can run. If you look at him, he's still trying to get the ball out of his hand. And you're watching the team adapt to that. Oh, shoot, let me go help my quarterback out. Let me go be in the vicinity. And then Brock is throwing accurate, right? And so you get the best of both worlds with Brock right now, and so he's hot. And until you got to rock with Brock, he's hot right now, and so I have zero issues about Brock Purdy. I think he's gonna be just fine.
Let me just be very clear here too. I don't want anybody to mistake what we're saying about Jimmy Garoppolo. We're going to the past, like years past. This season, outside of his first start, Jimmy Garoppolo wasn't playing terrible football at all. In fact, I think he was playing some of his best football we've seen. Yeah. So let me be very, very clear what I'm saying. Jimmy, with this new quarterbacks coach,
Brian Griese
was working with these guys, and you can see his effect on both of these young men, on Jimmy and Brock. So let me be very clear what we're saying here, that Jimmy wasn't putting the ball in harm's way a lot this year. Jimmy wasn't out there just looking terrible like what we have seen in the past, or what Wayne would say this fourth quarter Jimmy. We didn't have to deal with that this year. Jimmy was out there and was rolling as well. You know, we're on an 8-game win streak right now. Brock only started 3 of them. Mm-hmm. Don't forget that Jimmy had the 5 first. So let me be very.
I would say he had the 4, and then Brock has 4 too. I would say Jimmy got 4, Brock got 4. Yeah,
that's true. And we were technically losing when Brock got in. So I feel you.
Oh shoot! See what I'm saying?
I feel you. So my apology, but my point is this though, man. Jimmy wasn't playing bad ball.
No.
So they have found a way to level out these quarterbacks. They have found a way to level these guys out and just operate within the system. We don't need to do any more. We don't want you to do any less. Take what the defense is giving you. Trust the plays that are called. They're blitz beaters in every single play. Just do what we're asking you to do. Don't overthink it. And Jimmy was playing loose this year, man. Jimmy was playing loose. So I like what I was seeing from him the same way I like what I'm seeing from Brock this year. I can't tell you that there's a difference between those two quarterbacks right now. I can't. Jimmy this year and Brock this year, you can't. I don't have the rate.
There's a difference. The difference is what Brock is able to do in a busted play, opposed to what Jimmy is able to do on a busted play.
Jimmy made plays with his legs this year too, though.
It's not about him just making the plays with his legs, Mike. It's just the fact that when Jimmy made a play, like if he, it's different. That's the only difference, in my opinion. They both are winning games, but Brock just looks more confident. Jimmy was confident too, but Brock just looks like more comfortable. I think that's the word I wanted to say. Like he's just more comfortable out there running what Kyle is calling. And Kyle looks like he trusts Brock a lot more than he trusted Jimmy.
All right, Jimmy Garoppolo, Brock Purdy's QBR right now is 67. No.
Oh, QBR. I'm thinking of his rating. Sorry.
Yeah. His QBR right now is 67. Jimmy Garoppolo's for this year, when he left, where is it? God dang it. Where'd it go?
Isn't QBR the bullshit stat, though? Look up the rating. Isn't that what we want?
Oh, well, let me see. Hold on. So, all right. So, all right, here we are. Oh, rate. Okay, 103.2 for Brock Purdy. 67 QBR. So his rate is 103.2. With Jimmy this year, he's at 103. Not 103.2, at 103. And his QBR was 54.6. And that includes that really, really terrible game against Denver. I can guarantee you, if you take that game out.
Which you can't.
I know you can't. But that was Jimmy's first game. No offseason with the team and all that stuff. That does make a difference. But included if you want. They were playing the same game, bro. They were playing the same game. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I didn't
say that they were playing a different game. I said that Brock does some things differently than what Jimmy can do.
That's fair. I'm not arguing against it.
That's probably why his QBR is better and his rating is slightly better. And Jimmy played more games.
Right. And that's a big part of it as well. That is a big part of it as well. All right. We are almost done the show here. Thank you very much. And since we read that one already here. I think you're back up now, right? You get another one from Chenille, and then 49er Jeff. Just pop one in there.
All right, thank you, man. The football gods have sent us Purdy. The writing was the greatest fan base will have to wait till year 2022. Just a thought, go Niners. Yeah, I mean, listen, you got to give credit to John Lynch and Adam Peters and the scouting team and, whoever was responsible for the Brock Purdy finding, those are the ones that get the credit because, Mike, I believe in our mock drafts, we were mock drafting QBs. I don't remember Brock Purdy ever being one of them. But we thought that Kyle Shanahan would go get a quarterback.
Yeah.
You know,
and we took a lot of heat for that, by the way.
We definitely did.
Got Trey Lance. He's healthy now. What you talking about? Giving another quarter? All right. We took a lot of heat for that, bro. A lot of flack for that.
And so yeah, like you just gotta give those guys their flowers, man. They went out and got a guy that they felt like could come in here and fit this system and do what they needed for the system. And Brock Purdy has the confidence, the swag, the skill set, apparently the collegiate experience to come in here and do some of those things. And so that's what he's doing. And again, he's on fire. So we just gotta keep fueling the fire. How about that? How about let's not wait till it cools down? How about we continue to put wood or coal inside that joint so he can stay hot? Yeah. And that's where his players come in. His teammates, I'm sorry, and the fan.
That's right. I'm saying fan the flames. Make sure
I like that. Fan the flames. I like that.
Yeah. All right, last one here that I see right now. So we can wrap this bad boy up here. You got it.
That's my guy, 49er Jeff. Thank you for the contribution. He says JG held Kyle play calling back. It's free range with BP. And I think when you mentioned about the play calling, I don't think Kyle, we just talked about Kyle being in his bag, bro. Like you're starting to see stuff we've never seen with Jimmy Garoppolo. I've never seen Jimmy Garoppolo do a fake to one side, a fake to the other side, and hit he just doesn't do it, Mike. I've never seen it. And I've never seen it. You never seen it. But the moment he was confident in a kid like Brock because he's hitting these accurate passes and he felt like Brock has more of this moxie to him, he runs the fake really well. He sold that because you watch the defensive linemen go there, and they were lost in the sauce. Never seen it with Jimmy. Never. And I don't know why.
But how do I want to play this?
Never seen
All
it.
right. That is true.
Never seen it.
That is true. But Kyle never called it.
Because he was not confident in Jimmy. You can't say it's not true, Mike. You're gonna call plays that you feel like your quarterback can run. That wasn't one of them for Jimmy Garoppolo. That play's been in his playbook forever.
Kyle's gone on the record and saying, I'm not calling the game any different than I would have.
Will you stop listening to how many times has Kyle lied to you to your face?
None. I ain't never talked to Kyle face to face.
Oh, I knew you smart ass was gonna say something like that. You know what I'm talking about.
I'm just saying I believe him. I believe what he's saying. I don't see anything different because all of us were saying how different Jimmy looks at. Bro, it was to the point where Tony was on this show giving Jimmy credit.
It's not about that, Mike. Jimmy did look different because he looked more confident, right? But there's certain plays we watched Jimmy F up, right? And so that yes, there was. The motherfucker couldn't read a zero. He threw the wrong pass to a zero blitz. You just cussing this motherfucker out 4 or 5 weeks ago because he just lofted the ball in the air instead of throwing it at somebody's ass. Like, that's what he should have did. Your coach said he should have did that. I said he should have did that. And you're talking about, oh, he didn't know Deebo ran the run. No. Deebo was doing what he was supposed to do. The coach, you believe the coach. You said you listen to the coach. Don't go back on this one, Mickey Ficky, because the coach just came out and said, Jimmy was supposed to get that ball to D. He should have threw it to where Deebo was and just took the incomplete instead of throwing an interception. Like, that's the stuff Jimmy does. That's not trusting your quarterback. So you're not going to give him certain throws. You're not going to throw up certain plays. Jimmy probably would have lost the ball and the shit would have hit the dirt. Trying to make the ball out, bro.
Not fair. All right. I can't argue the hypothetical. I'm gonna leave it go. I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna leave it be.
I'm just saying, Mike. I just think Jimmy's good with certain plays. You didn't see him call none of this shit with Trey Lance either. Wonder why. See what I'm saying? Now, Trey Lance wasn't having a great year like Jimmy was, but Kyle's did fall back and just let Jimmy rock out. We said that. We said he's letting Jimmy be Jimmy. But then we start seeing Jimmy do better, and we still saw Jimmy do Jimmy things. I haven't seen Brock do Brock things yet because they've all been pretty much damn good.
Or we are seeing Brock do Brock things.
Brock things. Right.
So that's what remains to be seen. 4 games in, we got to see how the tables turn, if they turn at all, and hopefully they don't. I'm not looking for a fall off. So let me be very clear here. I'm not here to argue Jimmy versus Brock and none of that stuff, even though that's what the super chat is here from Jeff. He's saying that. And I do feel that Kyle was held back for the previous 5 years. I do agree with that in that sense. You know, there's a reason they were looking to replace Jimmy right after a Super Bowl appearance. The year going into the Super Bowl appearance, they were looking for someone else in 2019.
Yes, they were.
You know what I'm saying? So let me be very clear with what I'm saying. I do agree with that part. I am talking specifically about this year. This was a different Jimmy. Jimmy might have saved his whole career. Jimmy's going to get a decent contract. He's going to get a contract now because of what happened this year on this team with Kyle here. He looked different. He looked better. He looked more confident. Jimmy was out there slinging that rock. I think we're forgetting a little bit of what was going on. I do. But here's what I do know. 5 wins plus 3 wins equals an 8-game winning streak for the 49ers. 2 quarterbacks were responsible for that, and we haven't looked back since. We have lost 1 game since the acquisition of Christian McCaffrey. I can't wait. Yep. Go ahead and think about it.
Kansas City.
That's the only one. That is the only game we've lost since we got that young man.
That was his first game, wasn't it?
Sure was.
He had to get caught up
off in the game that mad people came back for the first time. On offense and defense. Trent Williams' first game.
And we lost the game in the 4th quarter, too. So, it's one of them things that just be happening.
Yeah. So there's going to be a market for Jimmy based off of the way he played this year. And there's going to be people calling about Brock Purdy. And I say no. I say F off. No, absolutely not.
They give you a first and
nobody's offering a first for him. We can stop that right now. No one's gonna.
I didn't ask you what we can stop. You could go hypothetical. I can't go hypothetical.
All right, I'm listening. Go ahead. Entertain me.
If they offered you a 1st round pick and a 2nd for next year, would you trade Brock Purdy? I can't believe I'm asking this shit. This is not even my forte, but I'm asking it anyway.
So numbers wise, you say yes.
Yeah, because you got him for 7th. Yeah,
right. You get
your 1st round pick back too.
You get your 1st round pick back. You could trade back because it wasn't a pick you were planning on having.
You turn that
into 2 first if you want. You could turn that into a 1st and another 2nd. Whatever. It opens up the whole draft board for you. So technically, John Lynch would take that deal. Let me be very clear with what I'm saying here. I don't want him gone. And 49er fans are going to say no because they think emotionally. But Kyle went to the podium and said, they trade me for the right offer. Kyle went to the podium and said that. That's real. That is very real. For the right offer. If someone comes in and offers you a 1st and a 2nd for Mr. Irrelevant, you absolutely take that. Now, I know the value in having 2 rookies as your starting and your backup quarterback. You can all of a sudden open up.
You can sign everybody you want.
Come on, man. You restructure a couple guys here and there, and all of a sudden the Niners are in the best position. We just Seattle Seahawks in 2011 all over again.
I was going to say something different, though. I think they would be in that position of being the dynasty like the Patriots were for 20 years. Why do you think the Patriots were able to stay winning? Because of Tom Brady. Right,
Brady and restructuring that, and they paid him under the table and all that stuff.
Yeah,
Robert Kraft was
a
cool guy.
Yeah, but the fact that his contract on the books was different, so they were able to pay guys.
Yeah, for sure.
That's how you do it. Now we got 2 guys we can live with like that for right now.
That's that Eddie DeBartolo mindset. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how they got them. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, we got 2 guys here that we could do that with. But you absolutely, if they offer the 1st and the 2nd, Brock Purdy is gone. Let me be very clear with what I'm saying. But if no one comes to you with that offer, he's staying here. You call me and offer just a 2nd or a 3rd, I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no. You know what
Even
I mean?
though the value is way higher than a 7th round pick.
Hold on now.
2nd and 3rd. That old ass point system. Come on.
Hear me out.
Okay.
Hear me out. Because it's no longer about the pick. Now it's about the value of the player. So, for example, where was Fred Warner picked?
Third
round, right?
Yeah,
he's a third round pick. If somebody offered you a first round pick for Fred Warner right now, you're gonna say no, right?
I get where you're going with this, but Brock Purdy is he a Super Bowl champion, Brock Purdy, or
I don't know that you tell me.
No, motherfucker, that's what we talking about. Because that's
you. This is your hypothetical. I said you tell me.
All right, so I'm gonna add to the hypothetical. So like non-Super Bowl champion Brock Purdy.
Now he's in the history books.
History books because he didn't win. He didn't win it. No,
you said Super Bowl champ, Brock Purdy.
I said non-Super Bowl champion.
I thought you said now I'm Super Bowl.
Non-Super Bowl champion Brock Purdy, but he's a winning quarterback, and he brought this special sauce to the 49ers faithful.
Did we get to the Super Bowl?
Yes.
What were his stats in the NFC Championship?
I don't give a fuck. We got to the Super Bowl. We just lost.
Bro, if he's 15-22 for 150 yards, then no. Ain't nobody even going to be knocking on the door for him then. You can't average 10 yards a pass.
Next contributions, I'm ready to go to bed. I can't do this with Mike.
I was playing his hypothetical game, which I just wanted to know.
All right, so 334 yards, 3 touchdowns, and an interception,
and a loss. That means the defense let you down, and his value is still high. Yes.
So you won't trade him still for a second or a third?
No. He's more valuable on this team as a backup or whatever may come. Not for just a second or a third. No.
Just only the first.
The value of the player has exceeded that at that point.
I don't know because you
can get him for 2 seconds. You can get him for 2 seconds.
I don't know if the value exceeds it because
if he's going up against the Eagles and he throws for 380 something yards and a couple touchdowns or 3 touchdowns and a pick, yes, the value is up there. And that Eagles defense, you just said yourself, is the best defense in the NFC, right? So if he's going out there and he's doing that against them in the biggest game of his life,
I said, who got the best defense in the NFC?
You said next to ours. You said the Eagles have the best defense.
I didn't hear
you. Yeah, so that means that he went out there against the big bad boys and we lost. That's not on him. That means the defense let you down somewhere because you get what I'm saying?
I guess. I mean, look, I don't know. I'm no GM.
You're telling me that if somebody called
I just know you if you could flip Brock from a 7th to a 2 seconds.
See, I think that's where we're different. I think
that's where we're different.
You're looking at Brock, the 7th round pick. I'm looking at Brock, period.
Yeah,
right?
But you don't know what that Brock is going to do that next year. So now you're going to play off speculation off the simple fact that you're hoping that Brock now with a full season and now NFL defenses teeing off on this motherfucker is going to put up those numbers.
I'm hoping after this postseason, we never see Brock Purdy play for the 49ers again, but I want him on the roster. That's what I'm saying. I want him to revert back to the backup and be the best backup in the league right here on a rookie contract. I'm not looking at him as Brock, the 7th round pick. I'm looking at him as Brock Purdy. That's what I'm saying. So now if you want to take him from me,
you got to call for money.
Now here's the flip side. What's the internal conversation? The internal conversation could be Brian Greasy saying, yo, I made him that. Let him go. I'll get somebody else. That could be the internal conversation. Look at what I did for Jimmy. Look what I did for Brock. You don't think I could do that with somebody else? You don't think I could do that with a 4th or 5th round guy? That's all I'm saying. The conversation changes. It's something fun. It's something we're gonna have. Listen. We got all off season. We got all off season to have this conversation. And for those of y'all out there wondering, yeah, y'all can record everything I'm saying. I'm a flip flop like a motherfucker on this topic every time it comes up. I'm gonna go back and forth, a fish out of water. All right, y'all gonna see me flapping all over the place on this one. I'm gonna be all over the place. Ain't no shame in my game because I think on my toes. I'm gonna keep going back and forth. One day I'm gonna feel like
toes for you, mother loving.
All right. So we got 3 more came in. All right.
Yeah, because you keep talking. Keith Murphy's coming from the north side, even the west. Think about it. Niners hired Kyle that had Matt Ryan airing the ball out. This is the first QB we've seen Kyle air it out with. This run first stuff was because Jimmy was limited. Whoa. Mike, I'm reading it. You go ahead and chop this up.
Thank y'all gonna make me say stuff. I'm gonna sound like a Brock Purdy hater. We're not airing the ball out, guys. We had that one nice pass downfield, but we got to stop acting like we're doing that 4 or 5 times a game. That's not what's happening. That is not what's happening, guys.
I think it's the same as Jimmy, right?
Yes.
And
yes,
like we
Jimmy
watched
would throw a shot or two down the field every game. He would connect on one or two of them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. Like, we got to stop acting like we're seeing some air raid offense here. You know, we had the other super chat that said we're a pass first team now and all. No, we're not. We are still a balanced team, and we're just taking what the defense gives us. That's it. That's it. We are not. This ain't some air that hole out type offense. That's not what we're seeing. Maybe I'm wrong.
It'll never be that because we not built that way. So we don't even have those type of wide receivers. Remember, we're still yak guys. And so they're built off of the short pass game. But the fact that we're hitting these intermediate routes and some of these deep passes, because you can't say that Jimmy was limited in that because didn't he have that throw to Tevin Coleman? Like he has some deep throws down the field. I mean, maybe Brock has the longer, deeper throw, the 30+ yard or whatever it is, whatever. But yeah, like Jimmy did get the ball down the field or whatnot. So I agree with Mike on this one. That's the first.
Oh, sugar honey iced tea. Let's go.
That's
all right. Here, Cali Boy says, y'all think Kittle can go all pro this year? I'll keep it short and sweet, and I'm gonna say no.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough, right? Because
3 games don't change it for me. I'm sorry.
But he's still putting up numbers though, Mike. So like Kittle's numbers are pretty damn good. Like it's crazy. If Kittle gets 2 more touchdowns this week and 2 more touchdowns in Arizona, it's that. How many touchdowns is that on the year?
He's got 8 on the year right now. He's at
700. He's got 8 touchdowns. Hell yeah, he's all pro. Fuck you, Mike, talking about this dude an all pro. This dude block every freaking game more than any tight end in the NFL and still got 8 touchdowns. Y'all motherfuckers crazy. He all pro.
Is all pro AFC and NFC combined? Or is there AFC all pro and NFC? I can't remember.
I think it's just all pro.
It's just first team and second team all pro.
Yes.
Nah, he's not gonna make it.
Who's gonna be the second tight end on the second team all pro in this year? If
Mark Andrews.
Hell no, he missed like 55 fucking games.
So did George.
George missed 1 game, 2 games. I'm sorry, I can't curse anymore because Rome, he be snitching. He be like,
oh, he said he be snitching.
Like, Mom, like Wayne, Dad said this word, and that's a bad word. Are you gonna talk to him about it?
Bro, all right. My opinion. Travis Kelce, TJ Hawkinson, they all have more. Mark Andrews has more yards than George Kittle. Like,
it's not just about the yards. I think they factor in everything, right? Or is it just about the yards? It could be just about the yards. Where's George on the tight ends list? I'm sorry, is he 5?
You want to know yards? You want touchdown? Like, what do you want?
Which yards?
All right, so if I put it in order for yards, it's not gonna it does let me sort. All right, Travis Kelce, 1257. TJ Hawkinson on his second team, if I'm not mistaken, this year, right? Didn't he get traded?
Yeah.
839. Mark Andrews, 747, also with 8 touchdowns. Oh no, he's got 5. I'm sorry, he's got 5. Oh shit, George Kittle got the second most touchdowns at tight end. All right, Evan Ingram, 723, and then George Kittle at 713.
So he's 5, right? Now go by touch. 5.
George Kittle's second. You got Travis Kelce with 12. You have George Kittle with 8. You got
George Kittle
Hawkinson.
He'll be second team all pro, yo.
Oh no! Oh, that's right. I forgot about my man, Juwan Johnson in New Orleans. He's not getting the yards, but he's a big body that's getting them in the red zone. He's got 7 touchdowns. Hawkinson has 6. Mark Andrews has 5, and Knox has 5.
That's a good question. And it's 2 more games. So
George Kittle has the name recognition, but I think
George Kittle yards again? 7, you said?
Yeah, George Kittle. You said yards?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
He's got 713, so he's
he needs 277 yards for 1,000 yards.
No, he needs 287.
287.
No, I'm sorry. Yeah, 287. He's 287.
Yeah. So he's not going to get 1,000 yards.
All right. So don't you think Mark Andrews shows that he's more valuable?
I mean, they just throw the ball to him, Mike. I mean, like who is their wide receiver?
He's played in more games than George Kittle this year. He's played in 14 games. Oh, but he got injured early in one. Kittle's played in 13 games.
Okay. So he has
more yards, but less touchdowns.
Yeah. And I mean, that's the guy. I mean, look at the people on the look. All right. Do they factor in the fact that the 49ers got 95 weapons and still find a way for George Kittle to be productive? Whereas I can't tell you who played for the Kansas City Chiefs other than Travis Kelce and maybe Juju and
Hardman. Come on,
nobody don't care about none of them. He missed the next game right after. Like, he took the bye week and missed the game after that.
You should use the Ravens as your example for that, because Mark Andrews and then who? So
then there's nobody. I mean, either way, I was gonna go through all of them, because when Detroit was there, like I know they was trying to get the ball, but he's getting more yards. What team does he play for now? Hockenson. He got traded to who?
Hockenson in Minnesota now.
Minnesota. Yeah. So I don't know, man. They're a pass heavy team. Even though they got Dalvin Cook, he gets a lot of his yards passing too.
So let's see the receptions. You put this order. Damn, where did he go?
Yeah, George Kittle's not getting the receptions.
97 for Kelce, 78 for Hockenson, 68 for Ingram.
Exactly. Those are targets.
65 for Higbee, 64 for Andrews.
Unless you know that George Kittle was used. He's probably got like 30 receptions.
Weirmuth is 60. Njoku is 53, and Kittle's at 52. Yo, he's way down on this list, and he's fifth in receiving yards.
I'm trying to tell you, bro. That's a monster.
He's efficient as this is what we talked about earlier. The pass game is more efficient now. That's what we were talking about. But he been, oh man, you know what? It is what I ain't gonna knock him. I ain't gonna. It's not impossible. Cali boy. I will say it's not impossible.
And it didn't become more relevant until the quarterback change.
He stepped up when the quarterback stepped back. I like it. I like it. All right, we got a few more that came in. We down to 3. Okay, it's all Keith Murphy. Keith Murray said, "No, let me stop." All right, I would never trade a productive quarterback that only makes $700K a year. You'd have to really over offer me to get me to come off that type of asset. Now, while this is true, if you think about what I just said, I want to keep Purdy here. But if all things go well, we'll never see him throw another pass for the Niners again. He should be the backup. You don't bench a backup and keep him if someone's offering you a second-round pick. I'm sorry, you don't. You don't. Am I wrong?
Nah, like that was part of my point. Like,
right.
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's gonna be crazy.
It's tough. I understand both sides of it. The value of keeping him here is incredible, right?
Yeah, this right here is incredible, right?
Right.
But I feel like you can get another guy that's going to want to come in here. You win, somebody's going to want to be this backup.
Okay.
I would want to be the backup.
Here you go. This one's for you.
37 attempts is throwing a lot. We weren't balanced with Jimmy. We were run first. Well, we were run first for the past couple of years, but
we're still run for. We still run more than we
run more than we throw. But he's talking about as far as that. That was a high number, like for Jimmy. Then we lose the game when Jimmy throws over 30.
Well, this year was different. That's what was different. So remember that everyone kept saying, keep Jimmy under 30 throws, keep Jimmy under 30 throws, 25 to 28 is all you. And every time we win. He was just rattling them off. I'm just saying that this year was different, and we still are a run first team. That's all I'm trying to say. That's all I'm trying to say. All right, I believe this is the last one. We can get out of here.
It's not.
Only Christian McCaffrey, Beathard, and Purdy have thrown 30 yards in the yard air touchdowns in the last 4 years.
Remember I said that? This is why he was saying that Jimmy. So that pass to Tevin Coleman was less than 30 yards then.
You talking about the Panthers game?
The one he lined up and jumped and caught that joint. I thought that was a pretty deep bomb down there.
Oh, that was the New Orleans game. Was that Coleman that caught that, or was that Sanders?
It was definitely Tevin Coleman, bro. I'm talking about this year.
Oh, you talking about this year? Oh, okay. I don't know, but see, it wasn't a touchdown.
Oh, I
Right?
thought he just meant the 30 yards.
But and that's what I'm saying. These are LeBron James stats that ESPN digs and finds a way to manipulate and make it look like the other guys ain't doing it. That's my point. Because it didn't result in a touchdown, don't mean that Jimmy wasn't throwing the ball down the field just as much as the other guys. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. You can manipulate the stats. That's what they're there for. They're there to make these guys look a certain type of way. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. All right. Damn, I don't even know where this one came from here. You could bust this one down, then we can get it out of here.
All right. 3,587 passing. I think these are 2021 rushing, 1,556 more passing yards. I don't even know what we're talking about.
187 passing, 2021. Rushing.
So we're passing the ball more is what they're saying, right?
Oh, he's comparing the total yards this year to last year. Is that what he's doing?
I think
All
so.
right. Okay.
Is that what you're doing?
49ers 2021. Let me see. Whoop. 2020. I forgot the one. All right, here we go. So passing yards last year. Nah, that can't be it because we passed for 4,221 last year. And we rushed for 2,166. And this year, we have passed for 3,430, and we rushed for 2,200. We're running more this year. Man, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. I don't know.
I still think it's about it's all about being more balanced. It's all about being balanced, and it's the production you get from it, right? So, like, if you could pass less and you still win by 17 points, so be it. Sometimes you're gonna have to pass more. Sometimes teams are just gonna stop the run. Like, you're gonna keep running. Like, you got to figure out other ways, and so sometimes those passing attempts are gonna be higher, right? And so it is what it is. But
that's it, man.
Yeah, great show.
Let's shut it down. Oh, we need one of those sound effects like when we shutting the show down.
Okay,
that'll be dope.
I'll look for it.
That would be dope. Listen, man, we want to thank you all for checking us out tonight, man. We really do appreciate you guys rocking with us as long as you have. Anybody who was here from start to finish, you the real MVP. Shout out to everybody out there in the chat, man. We're going to do this thing the way we always do. We're going to do our final thoughts, and then we are going home, man. Wayne, I missed you, bro. This was a fun show. And you know what I realized, man? I don't feel like getting up right now. I never did a overreaction show. I didn't take victory shots.
You didn't?
I didn't do because it was Christmas Eve, man. It was hard to sit there and do another 3-hour show, and I was at my dad's house with family and everything. You know, like it was just weird. You know what I'm saying? So I apologize for everybody. Oh, yeah, I'm not getting up. I was gonna say I'll get up and grab a bottle real quick and take a victory shot. Should we do it? Should we? Because we don't want to break our tradition.
I'm not taking no shot right now.
You know what? You go ahead and give your final thoughts real quick. Let me just grab this. I think I got a bottle somewhere nearby.
Yeah, I'm shotted out.
But go ahead and give your final thoughts, man, and then I'll be right back.
Man, final thoughts, man. Look, it's Raiders week. It's time to look forward to this next challenge in front of us. And I think the 49ers find a way to win out, man. Look, 13-4 was what I predicted. They look like a 13-4 team. They look like the number one team in football, regardless if the record doesn't reflect that. But the 49ers are looking like they're playing football like a well-oiled machine, right? Like the oil and all the pistons are working properly. Everything's polished up. Now, they still got things they got to work on because the 49ers do not play mistake-free football. Like, them motherfuckers still make mistakes. And I'm like, damn, stop making silly mistakes. But they look really good out there on all three phases. And I think Mike brought up something earlier, which was super important. Whatever they do at halftime reflects what they do out there on that football field. So they're able to make adjustments. So I think the 49ers are going to be just fine. So get ready, man. It's Raiders week, baby. Great show, man.
All right, y'all. I'm not going to go get a glass. This was actually close by. So I got my crown here. I know that's what they do shots with on the Wayne show. So I'm going to take the crown instead of the gold bar to combine the shots for us. All right, so that's going to be the victory shot there, guys.
That's because Mike didn't feel like going to get the gold bar. It was further away. But no, I appreciate.
And that was more than a shot I just took down. So
yeah,
all right, there y'all go.
Mm-hmm.
Keep the streak alive. If it's working, it's working. We got to do our part as well. So that was a combo right there. 2 shots I just took back. 1 for Wayne, 1 for me. Got the crown in there. All right. Whew, I'm going to bed. My final thoughts. Wayne, I agree with you, man. It's Raiders week, man. It's time to beat those Raiders. There's a lot of teams out there that want to play spoiler. Now, they can't knock us out of 3, so that's not going to really motivate them.
No. You
know what I'm saying? So what exactly could they spoil? Well, they know that we're in line for the 2nd seed and the 1st seed. We still have a lot to play for. And those guys are playing for pride. There might be some coaching changes, which also could mean some roster changes. They got a lot to prove. They got a lot of checks to secure as well. So no game in the NFL is safe. You're going to get everyone's best shot every single week. Brock Purdy is going to continue to grow, and we're going to go ahead and grow with him. This is a journey, guys. This is a marathon. This is not a sprint. This is not a one-off thing here. Like I hear all the time, every post game I've seen, you know what I keep hearing? Those locker room speeches. Want to know. That's what I keep hearing. And I love that mentality. And you know who's always saying it? Who'd you say your favorite player is right now, man? It's Fred Warner. Fred Warner is constantly saying, guys, want to know. If they keep that mentality, it goes all the way back to what Miss Debbie said with the very first super chat at the beginning of the show. Self-determination, man. The Niners are in a good place. Kyle Shanahan's in his bag. The defense is on fire, and we're going to keep on grinding, guys. We're going to continue the great coverage here. Hopefully you guys enjoy the show. Thank you all for your support, and we're going to see y'all soon, all right? Prepare for glory.
Anticipate pain.
But always
remain faithful, y'all.
We out of here.
One.
Peace.
We all gas, no brakes, pumped up, no fakes. We spinning, we winning, we high stakes. We never miss, we all makes. Look at us dudes trying to prove, bringing you news with nothing to lose. Mike, Nick, Tony, Wayne, Method Man, we bring the pain. Hey, see, I'ma confess it. We under the pressure.